I'm sorry if I sound self-centered. I'm just a very nervous guy, for real.
Nah, you're good.
Ah, come on, Magic. You want this problem so badly. Yeah. Oh, I get to see my Mantis MVP screen again. I
That's
rarely
crazy.
ever get to see it.
Nice.
All right, let me lower this. Let me this. I do need this locked, so that way people could actually hear me and everything that I've done.
All right, man, dude. As much as I want to just have Demon Slayer open in the background, because I've been addicted to that game. But
I mean,
yeah,
you can just keep
time
the volume down.
time for content. I don't know. Time for content.
Yeah.
It's
You,
content
well,
time.
you can play games, but I already know. I already know you. You're gonna be talking over the games, and then it's gonna confuse people.
Very true.
I mean, they're. I mean, look. I'll just basically
I
have the game muted.
specifically, I specifically know Icy Storm well enough to know that's like he's gonna have the game open, and the second something doesn't go his way, he's gonna start actually crashing out.
No.
Yes.
No.
Don't try and lie to your friend.
I'm telling you, friend. That's a stretch.
Damn. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a stretch.
Shots fired. I see. All right.
Yeah.
You're not. I know someone who's not invited to my birthday.
You mean birthday? I can just show up and your parents will let me in. They trust me enough.
That's crazy.
If they trust me to be out of town with you, they trust me to be in the house with you.
Correct facts, honestly. All right. Let me go ahead and.
All right, we can close this. We are going to open Discord on the side.
Close my
We are going
doors.
to flip around OBS really quickly. We like to be a little finicky.
All right, so then, so I think I am ready now. So now I can start my stream.
I don't need game audio considering
Yeah, now I
it
can start
won't
my
matter.
stream. Perfect.
All right, I'm gonna do my YouTube intro and then we can.
gosh, worst timing ever. Yes. But if you need me, call me. All right, got that done.
All right, for the sake of my intro for YouTube, what did you say the name of this podcast was again?
So
Oh,
I
was
have
there a
named
name?
it I have named it the podcast of life, essentially, since it's literally just us talking about.
All right, so what you're telling me is I should come up with a cooler name. All right, got you.
Okay. I mean, yeah, go ahead, come up with a cooler name. And then if you come up with a cooler name, I'm gonna steal that name and I'm gonna use it for mine.
Wow.
There
Okay,
you
buddy.
go.
See this? See this? This is
I
what YouTube is
didn't-
called. This is what YouTube
I
is
didn't
now.
see-
Nowadays,
I didn't see
plagiarism.
you come up with the idea. I didn't see you come up with the
Plagiarism.
idea for the podcast. All right, let me make a post too on my Instagram very quickly.
All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Right. Comey, are you ready?
Kazumi, yeah. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
All right.
So let's go ahead and get this podcast on the show. Let me switch my scenes, cause I got brand new scenes. Super happy with them. Very, very happy with them. Okay, so all right, so here we are. So welcome everybody to, well, first of all, hello. It's been a very long time since I've streamed. Particularly, I am back for reasons that I myself don't even know. But I had an idea, and I decided, you know what, I want to do this idea. So before we get started with the podcast, we have two individuals here who have not met. I know both of them. However, these two do not know each other, so I'll let them go ahead and let them say their introductions, whatever it is that they need to say. So we'll go ahead and start with Cosmic. You can go ahead and start, and then Icy Storm, you can follow up.
Her name is
well,
just Cosmic.
well, it's okay. So could be a bit of confusion. So my dream in life is to have my own animation studio. So I have different VTuber characters that I use. So the name for the studio and like the channels is Cosmic Dragon, but this particular VTuber is Kozumi. So you're both kind of right. Yeah.
Yeah, dragging these nuts across your face.
What?
Huh? What? Huh?
And it really this is what the stream's gonna be, right? This is what I signed up
Alright.
for. So
Hello everyone, I'm the better version of this guy right here. My name's Icy, aka Storm, aka whatever you want to call me. I'm the one that I'm the breadwinner of this establishment. You know, I kind of carry him to victory in any game he plays.
hold on. He says breadwinner.
So like,
He says breadwinner.
So like, you know,
That gets you, but
did I
not
never,
the better
oh,
version.
did I never tell you? I don't think I ever told you. I'm now monetized on YouTube.
Hey,
You are.
nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, after hitting I think it's 2.2 thousand subscribers, finally monetized.
I think it's only 1,000, but you have to have so many
Yeah,
views.
you have to have so many like views in a short time span.
Maybe I shouldn't.
And
Maybe I shouldn't say how long I've been monetized. Then I'll let you keep your thunder.
well, I was like, I've had the following for a while now, but it was just like
It's those
I
views.
don't know what it was. It was the views were just inconsistent because it was like when I used to play certain games, like I used to play Friday Night Funkin' and then videos pop off, and then I played Apex, videos popped off. But then for some reason, like the Marvel Rivals stuff never really popped off.
Yeah.
Even though Marvel was popping off, it was like it never really did.
I think the reason why Marvel Rivals didn't pop off for a lot of people is mainly because all the massive like big streamers that were really into.
Oh yeah, no, they were all playing it.
They were all playing it, and pretty much the majority of people that were already watching them from Marvel Rivals and stuff like that pretty much went over to watch their streams when they went over to watch. You know,
I have to turn you up in.
Yeah, I was just doing the same thing.
I was like, dude,
quiet?
you're quiet. I turned everything down, dude, and you're just quiet.
Yeah, I just turned you up to 200.
Because I can get closer to my microphone. It's just not going to sound good.
Oh, that sounds better.
Okay, so then yeah, I just have to raise the level on my microphone. There we go. How's that? That better for you guys?
Yeah, much better.
Much better.
All right, perfect. So yeah, anyway, welcome cosmic. That's gonna be
Cosmic, like like cosmic, celestial, just with a K and a Z.
So welcome Cosmic, and also welcome Icy Storm to the podcast. So let's go ahead and get this shorter. So there's really the rules for this podcast are pretty simple. It's open-ended conversation, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, wait, there's rules?
Yeah, there's rules.
All right, rules are meant to be broken, so.
Exactly.
There are some rules, but they're very small rules. So obviously, number one is
for number one, no circle jerking in the bathroom. Come on now, let's keep it
no, that's rule number 2.
Okay.
Rule number 2. That's rule number 2. Rule number one is obviously treat everybody in the podcast, every guest, anybody who is speaking and or whoever, or always remember to treat them with respect, and obviously let them finish their statement and stuff like that. We want to try to avoid talking over each other for like when we're trying to get points across, just so that way that each and every one of us can actually have that moment, to speak without having to have it to be silenced. So that's just one thing we want to make sure that we're doing. So that's pretty much like the only 2 big rules. Other than that, the conversations can go anywhere. You can even bring up politics if you want. I'm pretty sure the majority of us won't because that's a rabbit hole.
I genuinely don't. That's a rabbit hole I don't want to delve down.
Rabbit hole a lot of us don't want to go down. So a majority of us probably won't bring up politics. But if it can, and if it does happen, then obviously be respectful with the points that are given or whatever side whatever person stands on. So with that being said, I'm going to start off the conversation like this, but what do you guys think, what do you guys believe is such like the gaming scene thus far? What do you guys think has changed for the good, but at the same time has changed for the worst in terms of the gaming scene?
Like, so do you mean like games that have come out recently, or do you just mean like what do you gotta be more specific?
Yeah.
So for specifics, let's say games that have come out recently. What do you think is the good thing about the games that have been coming out recently, and games that will be coming out in the future, and the more of the bad side about it, and what's like kind of like plaguing the industry more now?
I'll say it like this: from all the games that have come out after like 2017,
Mm-hmm.
there's one thing that keeps them all the same, and it is that I will say it like this because most people will probably disagree with this take, but Fortnite both helped and ruined gaming in and of itself. What do I mean by that? It's very simple. Before Fortnite, we didn't have battle passes, we didn't have an in-game shop,
Hmm.
didn't have like the abundance of cosmetics, and now, like, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love Fortnite to the death because I played the hell out of that game. But it's like when you think about it in the long stretch, after Fortnite, every game had a battle pass. Every game had an item shop.
It's very true.
So yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't
And
think
it
about that.
and it was like don't get me wrong, Fortnite was so influential because it brought life to the Battle Royale franchise. Because don't get me wrong, the Battle Royale franchise was popping off with PUBG, H1Z1, it was popping off. But when Fortnite came into the mix, Fortnite changed because not just for regular gamers, but also content creators. Because when Fortnite came out, it was the talk. It was the talk, especially on Twitch and YouTube, whether it was better to stream or do videos.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to Fortnite, Fortnite was just popping off when it came to videos.
That's a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's like look at every. If I swear to God, like if you went back in time and made Fortnite content and you were halfway decent at the game, you would have become wildly successful because that's all people watched at that time on YouTube, which is just
Yeah,
Fortnite.
especially with the fact that because Fortnite was so new at the time, with everything that they were doing, it
But
was
they were.
very
But,
easy.
oh
Go
my
ahead,
bad,
go
my
ahead.
bad. No,
Okay. So with everything that was happening with Fortnite at the time, it was very easy for people to be so influential because not only it wasn't like your average battle royale either. It was a very like cartoony style battle royale where a lot of people could really get behind it and be like, this is actually really cool in the sense of it being like the battle royale, but it also feels like really nice to just play something that doesn't feel like I have to be super tactical about it, where I could just have fun with it. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where like that comic slash cartoony style of of art and really just of gameplay just kind of came together. And I, for one, I was definitely like on the bandwagon too for Fortnite when it first came out. I was like, yeah, this is a really like fun game. Obviously, for me, I couldn't get really into it because I just couldn't understand the building aspect of it. So that's kind of what deterred me away from the game more and more as the game progressed. With every update, I was like, yeah, I really can't understand the um the build aspect of it to save my life. But yeah, I definitely agree with that in the sense of, Fortnite both did a lot, but at the same time, it kind of hurt a lot of the industry too. Because
Mm-hmm.
nowadays we now have like I can't go to like a Call of Duty anymore and not see like, oh yeah, season 5 or season like 7 of the Call of Duty, battle pass, and you get like all these different characters and everything like that, which is another conversation in and of itself, with the way the direction that Call of Duty has gone with. But to lead into that, I think Call of Duty has just very much strayed from the path that they kind of had. You know, it used to be like Call of Duty was like the number one like shooter, like it was the number one first person shooter, like tactical shooter, where it's like you had to be, pretty much locked in, and it was fun for a time. But once I started seeing that they started adding in, like you said, Icy Storm, where the battle pass stuff started coming in, and then skins especially skins that had no correlation to anything military wise. I was like, yeah, no, this is kind of like you're kind of losing me right now.
but then also, like, if you think about it, it's like think about all the games that come out now. Most games that come out now have games that come out that are similar to them at
Mm-hmm.
around the same time span. There was no game to compete with Fortnite when Fortnite came out. There was no game that kicked up people. And then what happened? Apex came out like a year and a half into Fortnite's life cycle. Like Apex came out at the peak of Fortnite, so no one was talking about Apex.
Yeah.
And then everyone just randomly started going to play Apex. And then like, because you know why people played Apex? Because those were the streamers that wanted to play a game that was similar to like Call of Duty, because they were tired of all the building.
I feel like it was also people went to Apex because it had, especially a lot of people, particularly in terms of the Titanfall community, they went to play that game more because it really, the movement was very much Titanfall based movement, and you had all these different champions with all these different abilities, and that was really a cool aspect too. Don't get me wrong, like I still play Apex to this day, and I love the fact that every character has their own unique abilities and their own unique strengths, but also their own unique weaknesses, and it really requires you to know that character to really be proficient with it in the game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in that sense of like all of them kind of at least all the characters, having different unique abilities and everything, well, that's also kind of what's the same with a lot of the games nowadays, is that they all took that same blueprint, and it's like the exact same thing, just they tweaked a little bit, and they make you pay out the wazoo to basically play the same game over all these different systems,
Yeah, they kind of just looked at Fortnite as Icy Storm said.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at Fortnite and it's like, this it's super successful for them. It'll probably be super successful for us, but it's like it's like that's not how it works. It's just it worked for Fortnite because it's like I said earlier, the cartoonish vibe that Fortnite had is what really makes it to where all that stuff fits in, like all the Star Wars stuff.
Exactly.
Every single collab that they've ever had for Fortnite, it works for Fortnite because it's cartoonish. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be childish. When you start trying to do that kind of stuff with the other example I had, which was Call of Duty, you lose that audience because you're going from what you used to do, which is like that tactical feel, that that military style of engagement, to more of like we want to appeal to like the more like broader audience. Was like you can't really do that because your game, as much as you want it to be for kids, it's not rated for kids. Every single Call of Duty that has ever come out has never been rated E for everyone. It's always been rated M for mature. And when you start adding in those skins of, childish skins that I think, that don't really need to be there, influential people that don't need it, that have nothing to do with the military at all, and yes, I'm throwing smoke at people that buy like the Nicki Minaj skin, the freaking Snoop Dogg skin. I'm like, these
You're
people have
the gooners.
Yeah, the gooners and the people, essentially like the people that essentially are of influence. They put them in the game, like I made the example, Snoop Dogg's in Call of Duty and Nicki Minaj's in Call of Duty. Those people have is it cool? Sure, but they have nothing to do with the military, nor do they have anything to do with like the military style of what the game really represents. And
they're just trying too hard.
Yeah, like you're trying too hard to appease to this. Like you stick with the formula that has worked throughout all your years, which is that tactical first person, shooter style where you have to have communication, you have to have comms to essentially achieve success in every game that you play.
But then also it's like this. I understand. Don't get me wrong. I understand what Call of Duty is trying to achieve. However, it's like what COD has to realize is this: most of their audience does not give a fuck about all these skins. Like me, I'm not finna get on Call of Duty and buy. I don't get on most games and buy skins. The only game that I buy skins on right now is Marvel Rivals. And that's because I actively play the game.
Yeah.
It's like, other than that, I don't get on games and buy skins. I just play games. And it's like, I feel like we've lost the aspect of making a good game that's worth the money, and
Mm-hmm.
instead they just think, okay, we're gonna make a halfway decent game, release all the good content after like 6 months of the game being out, and then we're gonna try and make all of our money back because we sell swimsuit skins.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here's kind of like my rebuttal to that though. Like I understand it's like like obviously a skin or a skin bundle won't deter players from playing the game, but it does deter players from the game when those skin bundles include weapons and the weapons that are in the skin bundles are actually busted. They're overpowered because the Nicki Minaj skin bundle came out and it came with a shotgun, right? And that shotgun was completely busted.
Well, I'll say it like this. Uh, what? So for reference of what he's talking about, because I know what you're talking about, and I'll explain it. For reference, what he's talking about is this: when weapons come out in bundles for Call of Duty, they come out with a specific blueprint,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
some blueprints come with specific. They're called gun mods. They call it a gun mod, and you cannot get that gun mod outside of the bundle. So you can't unlock it. You can't do anything. And sometimes it comes with a specific attachment. Sometimes it comes with a specific line of attachments that interact with each other differently than if you just put them on the gun yourself. And it has led to a lot of bundles in Call of Duty history being pay to win.
Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the bad part about having a game having that kind of stuff in the game. Like if you want the skins, like I said, if you want the skins, then sure. I just don't think skins like that should be in the game, but that's my personal take. But don't include, like you said, Storm. Don't include weapons in the skins where you can't unlock them naturally just by playing the game. Like I remember back then, like Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3, even Black Ops 4, you'd play the game and you play with the weapons and you unlock the weapons, the attachments for all the weapons as you played and leveled them up. So it's like you should still have that as the game progresses. As you progress through the game, like just make the skins just simply something. It's like, okay, this is just a skin that you can buy for cosmetic reasons, but don't ever put stuff in a bundle where like that's what I don't want to see in a game. Yeah, that's just my thing with Call of Duty. One thing that I am kind of excited about. I'm excited, but I can't say that I'm like super like ecstatic about it. Is the new Battlefield that's coming out, and I
Oh,
think I think you actually did play this Storm this
uh,
the previous weekend, didn't you?
so yes, so two things. I got access to play it earlier than everyone else did, so I got access to play
Ooh.
it the first weekend, and then also I played it obviously during the open beta. And when I tell you guys the controversy that that one game has brought to all of these communities is hilarious. Because now you have the controversy of people going, "Am I gonna get Black Ops 6? I mean Black Ops 7, or am I going to play
Yeah, I'm
Battlefield?"
not
And
going.
it's like most
Yeah,
of the player base is like, "Hey, I'm gonna just play this fucking. I'm gonna play Battlefield." And it doesn't help that the trailer that they released for the new Call of Duty game was not it. Say it like that.
yeah, it was not the best. But I think the reason why Battlefield is doing better is gonna do better this year over Call of Duty is simply because they're really just keeping that war aesthetic. They're not adding stuff to the game that doesn't make sense to be in a war essentially. Because that's pretty much the whole gripe with Battlefield in the first place. Battlefield has always been about that tactical war vibe. Essentially there's a soldier in all of us kind of vibe. They've always been about
Mm-hmm.
that. So, and they're pretty much, like I said, they're pretty much looking at it like, yeah, we're not gonna add stuff to the game like skins or anything that really doesn't make sense for it to be there. Like you don't, it doesn't make sense to see this. like Stan from American Dad. It doesn't make sense to see him on like a war zone. You're not gonna see that in a war zone because in the reality, it's like you're gonna see soldiers wearing the uniform.
Very true.
So, but yeah, let's take a little break from the first person shooters and let's look a little bit more into like games outside of that are kind of doing well and games that I'm starting to see are doing well more now are really like the indie games.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. So about that, I am happy to announce that we have finally got the long-awaited release date for Hollow Knight Silksong.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And I've been so excited for this game. Like I've never been more excited for a game in my life.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've never actually played Hollow Knight.
That is criminal.
I've heard good things about it, but I've never personally have yet to sit down and actually play it. So I can't say too much about it, but what I do know is that I've heard nothing but good things about the game, and I do plan to play it at some point. I just haven't done it yet.
Yes, so there's I can talk about like a couple of upcoming games that are coming out. So there's a lot of games that got announced that I know of. A couple of them being games that I'm pretty fond of. So one game that got announced it's a game called Goblin Cleanup.
It's called
Dungeon
what?
Cleanup. So essentially what it is it's like a co-op horror like funny game. So it's like essentially you and your friends, it's up to a group of 6, are dungeon cleaners. And you guys essentially go in, clean up dungeons, and just try not to die by like things like mimic chess.
That sounds fun.
It's just a very like goofy game. And it basically has like the same it's like imagine like I'm trying to think. Like it's like Lethal Company meets Repo, like type of art style.
Ooh, cool.
It's kind of what, that's kind of what you, what I was gonna say that you described it as. It sounds like Repo and, I forget that. Dude, I have such a short term. I have short term memory loss. I swear to God, man. Yes, thank you, Lethal. I swear, you just said it. I was like, man, I have such bad short term memory.
Speaking of kind of like dungeons, I seen just a couple days ago this one on Kickstarter that's kind of like D&D but Jackbox style, and I thought it was really cool.
You know what's funny? I think I saw the same one, and then right next to it, I saw an ad. It was on Kickstarter too, but there's essentially someone making a board game for Hell of a Boss.
Really?
Yeah, they're making an actual board game for the show Hello Boss. I was like, this is actually really cool because I saw the design of like the box and stuff, and I was like, I don't think I'd ever play the board game, but the design of the box is really cool because it's literally just like the grimoire, like Stolas' grimoire from the show. I was like, this is actually a dope like.
That's cool.
Game. So I was like, I think I might like actually like invest in like the Kickstarter for this because it's really dope.
Nice.
But yeah, definitely the indie game scene is starting to blow up, especially with all these AAA like game studios kind of like fumbling these last couple of years with all the games that they've been coming out with. I still think though, out of all the games and out of all the game companies that have been fumbling though, none have been like there's none that have been bigger than Bungie. Bungie has been fumbling like, oh my god, even with like this latest TWAB, Bungie just fumbled. Like I feel like they just at this point just want Destiny 2 to die.
But then also, so I'll say this as well, because people may get upset by this. I know people will, but I am the type of person that I am no longer excited for GTA 6. Why am I excited for that? I mean, why am I not excited for it anymore? It's because think of it like this. We all grew up, we love GTA.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not just how long it took to come out, it's with my interests changing as I grew up. The only time I'm gonna play GTA is if I play it with friends. I'm not gonna want to get on and grind by myself like I used to. I'm not gonna want to drive around the city and do all this crazy stuff. Like my whole thing is my brain is now in have fun content mode, and so I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm just gonna want to play the game and enjoy it with my friends. I'm not gonna want to stay here and take it seriously because I'm pretty sure we all have that one friend that if you get on the game after what 24 hours of the game being out, he's already gonna have everything unlocked. Let's be for real.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. There's definitely those. There is definitely those friends, and then the worst part is that those same friends who get everything unlocked, they'll never come back to the game because like there's nothing left for me to do. I was like, yeah, because you just went ahead and did everything.
Right? They made it boring for themselves.
Essentially, yeah. And I think that's another big thing about the gaming community just in general is that a lot of people I feel like back in the day people I guess wanted games to be more like that where you could hop in and get everything pretty much day one,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really more gated towards the people who have, you know, they can't really spend all the insane amount of time to sit down and play a video game for hours
But I
on
feel like,
end because, you know, we have to go to work or we have to go
Mm-hmm.
to school or we have to take care of a family, you know, stuff like that.
Exactly.
We have responsibilities, you know, but
I can't say the same. I just go to work, come home, and eventually figure out the rest I want to do.
well, you're different, but for a lot of us it's like, you know, we have families, we have kids,
I
we
definitely
have
don't. I
pets.
should, yeah, shit.
Yeah, I
The
don't have
woman
that
would have
yet.
to tie me down and get me to have a kid before marriage. she'd have to, she'd have to tie me to the bed.
But that's what I'm saying though. So it's like I feel like gamers nowadays they want at least from what I've heard from numerous other people, um, especially from one friend who unfortunately he couldn't be here today, but he really wanted to be here for this. My friend Guides, he
Boo.
mentioned, shut up. My friend Guides, he mentioned that he really wishes that games nowadays would just pretty much stop with the whole, you know, you can essentially unlock everything the day everything is released. You know, he wants it to be essentially a progressive thing, but at the same time, don't drip feed gamer stuff. So give a nice steady flow of content, but at the same time, don't give everybody too much to the point where people don't come back to it, but don't give people too little to the point where they just stay away from it.
And on top of that, I'll say it like this: I feel like the reason why gaming has been so basically abysmal is mainly because think of it like this: what have we not seen? I feel like Fortnite was the last game that brought something truly innovative.
Fortnite was definitely the last thing that like was major. It was big.
Yeah, because like think about it nowadays. It's like what game comes out nowadays that's like truly changed your. I won't even say Fortnite. I think the last game that truly changed everyone's perspective on gaming was I wouldn't even say Elden Ring. I'd say Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
I would
Baldur's Gate
Baldur's
3.
Gate 3 was the last game that changed everyone's opinion on gaming
Baldur's Gate 3
because
essentially
it sent a
displayed,
message
yeah,
that
it
you do not
displayed
need
what a
in-game
game
purchases to make a game. when gaming
exactly.
here.
It displayed what a game could do, what a game company that genuinely cares about their audience, genuinely cares about a story, and genuinely just cares that people have a fun experience with the video game. They just pretty much showed like you can have all of that and not have any in-game cosmetic items to purchase. You don't have to have any sort of level like help for level ups or anything like that. It's just a simple game that you can play and you can go about it as your at your leisure, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
only recently finished playing Baldur's Gate 3. That's the crazy part. Like I recently finished playing my first playthrough. I'm now going back into it again to have another playthrough to do all the different choices that I didn't choose. And that's like that's the other thing too of that actually plays in right into it is most games nowadays don't have that replayability factor. Like
Yeah, that's
most
very
games
true.
you can't see it. You can't play a game and sit down and be like, "You know what? I want to replay this game. I want to replay this story." It's not like games were in the past where, you know, say what's a good story game that came out in the past? I honestly think like the Halo games are like one of like a good comparison. I could sit down and play the old Halo games campaigns like for hours on end because the story was just so good.
Yeah, I think for me those would have to be like Final Fantasy games or like
I was
Skyrim,
just
something
about
like
to say
that.
that too. Yeah, Final Fantasy has a great story.
Yes.
Skyrim to this day people still play Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to do in Skyrim. There's so much to do in Final Fantasy tour. It's like it's those two games where it's like you could sit down for hours and really not get bored of it because there's just so much that you have yet to discover for yourself.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people that replay Kingdom Hearts too.
That's a game I have seen people going back to replay.
Mm-hmm. I've only played it
Me
like once
personally,
myself.
I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game in my life.
I only played it once. It was kind of fun.
That's honestly not shocking. You'd be surprised. It's like a lot of people haven't. Now,
I do.
chat. No, none of this.
I do
All right,
think
chat.
it's a
We're gonna
fun
get into the
game.
nitty gritty of this, bro. We gotta talk about the important things in life. All right, buddy. All right. Who's your childhood crush? Put it in there. Come on. Nothing about video
Now
games. Your childhood
we're,
crush.
we're doing this question.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Be honest
Oh,
with us.
no.
Come on now, buddy. Don't lie to chat now.
You tell me yours, I'll tell you mine.
All right. So let me add to the question. Are we doing like
No,
IRL people, or are we doing?
No, it'd be more fun to do famous people so you actually know.
Because it's different. It's different depending on which one we're doing.
Okay,
That's
so
why.
how about
That's why I want to specify.
okay? How about
Let's do
childhood crush,
IRL first, and then we're doing like
fantasy,
childhood, like
fantasy
cartoon,
fiction.
like cartoon fiction, whatever.
Yeah, it's like fantasy. So okay, so IRL and then fantasy. Okay, yeah, I can do that. So I guess IRL. I don't know. IRL. I didn't really have a childhood crush in terms of like celebrities.
I did, and mine may sound strange, but mine is Sam Pucker from iCarly.
It's
blonde?
Bucket.
Like I know that sounds crazy, but
Wait, was Sam the blonde in that show?
yes,
Yeah, she was
okay,
the blonde.
I think. Okay, so I think IRL crush. Oh man, it's hard. Cause I like I said, I didn't really have an IRL crush, but if I had to pick one, I think Selena Gomez, honestly, from Wizards of Waverly Place.
that's understandable.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
That was a fire show too.
That's understandable.
I think mine would probably be a tie between Leonardo DiCaprio or Lance Bass from NSYNC.
Instinct. I have not heard that
Yes.
in a long time.
And Lance is the one that
Yeah,
ended up
like-
being gay, so I'm like, go figure.
I'm about to say, dude, I have like all their songs on my
Oh
playlist. basically.
man. No, can I change my IRL choice?
Sure.
I know who I have IRL crush on. It's the guy who does it's literally one of the same guys from Instinct, but he does the voice of Chip Skylar in
Oh,
Fairly Odd Parents.
that's
Dude,
Chris
that-
Kirkpatrick. I think that's Chris
Yes.
Kirkpatrick. He was
that one.
he was the high pitched tone. I liked his
Was
voice.
he the lead singer for Instinct? I don't think he was.
No, that was God, I'm drawing a blank. He sings Sexy Back. God, why am I drawing a blank on his name?
I have Spotify open. Hold on, I can just do this. Justin Timberlake?
Yes.
There you go. Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
It's like I have Spotify open. I can literally just do this. I can just type in the song name and it'll show me the artist.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
The one that everyone is probably waiting for. What about them cartoon characters? I know some of y'all got some weird taste out there.
Jessica Rabbit.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What was the question?
typical.
So then
Who is
the
your
question is your fantasy crush. Mine is 100% has to be Jessica Rabbit. That was like the first like fictional character that I was like, oh yeah, this is doing something to me.
So mine was like a mix of two because one of them's an actual like obsession, and the other is like I idolize this person more than anything else.
So it's like, okay, so wait a minute. So we're doing fantasy. So we're doing like
Yes.
obsession and like
No. I'm just stating the one that I had.
okay.
So honorable mention is Virgil from Devil May Cry.
Mm.
My favorite video game season of all time, and he's just everything about him is just.
He's a badass. Yeah, he's a badass.
I get that.
You know,
I fucks with that.
this one came out a little recently, than anything else, but it would always have to be Raven from Teen Titans, original Teen Titans.
Oh yes.
Original Teen Titans Raven is the reason why goth girls have a place in my heart, because that was that showed me a new world.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good point there.
Okay, well, I'm sitting here trying to think, and I'm trying to narrow it down.
I have an obsession right now, honestly. I have an actual like obsession with one character, technically. I'm sure some people can relate as to why, but it's Beelzebub from Hell of a Boss. That's currently like that's like my current crush right now.
I think growing up, mine was Danny Phantom. Yes. And Ash Ketchum. And then as I got older and I got into like anime and stuff, then it became kind of a tie between Shikamaru from Naruto and then Kyo from Fruits Basket and Kaoru from Ouran High School Host Club. And Kyo and Kaoru are actually voiced by the same voice actor. And this is how I know he was probably, like, the characters were really big crushes, because he was the only famous person I've ever met that I was actually nervous to meet. Like, I was literally shaking to get his autograph.
Hey, there you go. That's how you know. That's pretty much how you know right there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was crazy for me, too, because I recently went down to a convention as well, near me. And the voice actor for Luna from Hello Boss was there. I was like, oh, shit, man. But aside from her, she also voices Dobby from Demon Slayer.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, my God. And when I was like, in the line
Dobby, don't you mean Docky?
Or, yeah, Docky. Sorry.
I was like, Dobby. I'm like, dude, you can't say that when I'm like the biggest Demon Slayer fan out there. You just threw me for a while.
No better than you with Pucker when it's Puckett, man.
Look, man, look.
Threw you for a loop with that one, didn't I? But yeah, so I was in line for her, and I was like genuinely like nervous to meet her. It was like, oh my God. So but it was a cool experience by the end of it, because like she really liked my jacket, because I had her sign my IMP jacket that I had, so it was really dope.
Nice.
But yeah, they don't make cartoons like that anymore, man.
No, they don't.
Teen Titans, man.
And you know what the change point on that was? That was Flapjack. As soon as that one came out, all of them started having a similar style with like these tube arms and everything. And you can't tell one from another now if you see like a still from it.
Brain rot.
Yeah. Like the other day, well, it wasn't the other day, it was like last year at this point. But literally half a second of a flash of a background came on the TV, and I immediately jumped up and went, "Is that Samurai Jack?" Sure enough, it was. They like reprised it, and almost everything about the style was the same. I got excited.
I didn't know they brought back Samurai Jack.
They did. It was for like a special or something they did. The only difference was every everything wasn't as sharp, and like the eyes were slightly different. But it wasn't as big as like Invader Zim, where they made everything from blocky to round. Yeah.
Invader Zim was a great show though.
Yes.
I got to meet the voice actor too who played Zim, which also plays Moxley in Hello Boss. I was like, oh,
really?
You my child. Yeah, he plays Moxley in Hello Boss.
Cool.
So the guy who literally does Invader Zim, he's also the guy who does Moxley in Hello Boss. That's why I was like, when I first saw the pilot, I was like, why does that voice sound so familiar? And when I looked at the voice actor, I was like, oh my god, that's Invader Zim.
I've always wanted to meet him. I got to meet the voice actor for Gurr, and I brought a Gurr jacket that I had, and I got him to sign it as well as draw a picture of Gurr riding Piggy on it. And he was like, I can't draw. Are you sure you want me to do this? I said, yes, please.
yes, please do it. It's so sick. But yeah, they don't make you don't have cartoons like that anymore.
No, and
actual good cartoons, stuff like taught you lessons and stuff. Like
yeah, and I think that's part of it is because like back then, like the cartoons would actually, like you said, teach you lessons, but it wouldn't be like itty bitty kitty lessons. Like they knew their audience might have been, 10 or 12, but they were mature. They had to deal with real life stuff. And it's like nowadays for the cartoons, it wants to tailor it to like their mindset is of like a 6-year-old almost.
Yeah. Like I remember this show. God bless that it got remade, but at the same time it's not the same that it was. But I'm sure you guys remember. Do you guys remember VeggieTales?
Yes. God, that was forever ago.
Yeah. So one thing that I loved about VeggieTales it's exactly what we were talking about. Every single episode for VeggieTales was a specifically related story.
Mm-hmm.
But it also had a specifically related problem and a cause and effect that you pretty much see in day-to-day life. So the cool thing about VeggieTales too was the people who created it, at least for me, the reason why I liked it so much was because it was based around a Christian faith. Now, I don't knock anybody for, if you don't believe in Christ, that's you. It's 100% respect you. If you don't believe in anything, then I still respect you. Just for me, that's just my belief. But I liked it so much is because every single time at the very end of an episode for VeggieTales, they would bring in like a specific quote from the Bible that correlated to the episode and the lesson that was taught for the episode. But it was in a way where children could understand it and you could apply it to your day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one thing that I was really happy that they brought back. Granted, it's not the same as it was before, but it is it's something,
Mm-hmm. And it's like nowadays there's no direct train of thought, whether it's like a cartoon show or like an actual people show, there's like no one direct train of thought almost. And a lot of them, they're trying to remake everything that was already good. And some of them, okay, don't get me wrong, some of them they had success. Like, they redid Boy Meets World into Girl Meets World. That was actually pretty good. It made their audience feel like, they were actually involved and old enough and stuff like that. And like, Raven's Home from That's So Raven, that was a decent reprise. But some of these others that they're trying to remake or redo like a movie or something of, it's like, why ruin it?
Yeah. It just sucks. There's actually one show that did come out. It wasn't recently. This is like a couple years ago. But when it did come out, I was very skeptical about it. But I'm actually really happy that I ended up watching it because the story of this show went really hard, and I didn't feel like it tried to push a political agenda. But at the same time, it dove into the topics of kind of like what we see nowadays, and that was Steven Universe.
Yeah. I actually went to the same high school that Rebecca Sugar did a few years after she did. Or not high school, college, sorry. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
But I love Steven Universe because it's like it was clear that a lot of the characters, literally all the female characters, I was like, okay, everybody in the show is gay. Like all the females are gay. And I was like, but it was in a way where it was like, you know what, this is not being forced down my throat.
Exactly.
Accepting, you know.
Exactly.
As I watched the show, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like this is a cool story, and it showed these different characters all having their different levels of problems throughout the entire show. And I was like, this is something that is like very interesting. So as I watched more, I kept watching, and I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, it's like, man, Steven's got it rough, but at the same time, when the show finally finished, I was like, no, he's his own person, and even though he was raised by all female characters, and his dad, he still came out really well, and he went off to do his own thing finally. Like he finally left to experience his life, and that's such a great message.
You know, she actually based Steven off of her little brother.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep.
I did not know that. But that was definitely a show where I was like, I like the theme of the show, and I love the characters, even though a lot of people see, like, gay marriage, transgenders, and stuff like that. They see that as, like, completely, like, wrong. I was like, it's believe what you want, but it's like, you don't force people to don't force people to live a life that, that you think is accepting.
Exactly. And, I think that kind of goes both ways. Like, I mean, you don't see other shows and stuff out here, like, forcing being straight down your throat. Like, just, have the relationships be what they are. Don't force anything. And, everybody, I think, will be more accepting of every type of relationship.
I believe that's true for like you said. I believe that's true for just all walks of life, honestly. And we see it in most movies now too, where it's like we see characters that are of a different sexuality, or they're of the spectrum, and I'm just like, I don't have a problem with the character, but it's like I need to see the character in a setting of growth. I want to see backstory. And that's just for every character in general. It doesn't matter where they are in life, or just on the spectrum, what they believe in. And I feel like any character, you could write a character, and as long as they have like genuine problems that regular people go deal with on the day-to-day basis, you'll have a character that people genuinely love, regardless of what it is that they do.
Exactly.
Regardless if they're gay, regardless if they're trans. If you have a character that's just a really good character, and you write them very well, people will accept that character, because it's a sense of, okay, this person may be this, but guess what? They still go through the same problems that I do.
Yeah, see, I kind of like to think of it as the Disney disorder, because if you look back on a lot of the Disney shows, when it comes to race, they tried to forcefully make sure that each show had like one white, one African, one Asian, like one Indian, make sure that it was even. And then if it was somewhat uneven, it might have been like two whites or something, like just barely one more, And now it's like they're trying to do the same thing with that, like make sure we have a gay, make sure we have a lesbian, make sure we have a bi, make sure we have a the one that identifies as both, like, and it's like, don't force it. Just like you said, write the character, write the story, and if it has one, great. If it's made of all of them, great. Just make it. Don't force it.
Write something. And I'm not saying like everybody's gonna like the show, because don't get it wrong, there's a lot of people out there that didn't like Steven Universe because of what I just mentioned. There's a lot of, like, it was literally true. Like a lot of the fusion dances that the characters were doing in the show were sexual in a way. So it's just like, yeah, I could see a lot of people not liking this for at least their children to watch. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, as I watched more, you don't have to like it, but at the same time, it's like, if it's a good show and the majority of your audience is enjoying it versus the few who don't, then that to me is your ticket. That's you knowing that, okay, you did something good.
And in that sense, I mean, they've honestly been doing that for decades, and people haven't complained before, because they throw in, now it's more or less been jokes, like think Animaniacs. You know, they target the show to the kids, but then they have to add in stuff for the adults that's also watching with them that may go over the kids' heads. Well, now, shows when I was growing up and stuff I was taught, that stuff didn't really go over my head, and I kind of enjoyed it, you know, because I understood the jokes that some people didn't. But I also didn't ruin it for them because I'm like, this is how they made the show, so that way the ones that get it, it's like underlying, it's there. But then the ones that don't, they can just enjoy the story, the theme, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I love about innuendos like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that I'm older, I can see them now. I go back and I watch like SpongeBob, like old SpongeBob.
Oh, yeah.
Like I went back and I watched old SpongeBob, and I watched the episode where they were censoring his voice, and then that's when I realized, like, oh my god, SpongeBob is cussing in the show, and I just realized that. But that's because I'm older now, because he's like, Mr. Krabs is, and they would censor the word right after. I was like, oh my god, he's saying a cuss word. That's what's going on.
How
So
long
like,
did it
so
take
anything
you?
goes.
How long did it take you to pick up that certain other words were cuss words, but they were actually saying them? You know, like they traded them out, so to speak.
It took me a while because I had to go back and watch some of the older stuff. Hi Shadow, how you doing? We're just we have a chatter in the stream. Another streamer
Oh.
friend of mine. She's saying hello. But yeah, it took me a while to go back and realize in some of those older episodes that there was a lot of like SpongeBob is probably the biggest one, but there was just a lot of innuendos for the adults. It's like, oh my god, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Uh
This is
huh.
not for kids.
Well, they have to have something so the adults can, you know, have some sort of entertainment, so that it's not just like mind numbing to them.
Yeah, like I watched the episode where essentially where Squidward was completely like paralyzed, and they took Squidward to like go jellyfishing.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole scene of Patrick telling Squidward to just firmly grasp it, I'm like, oh my god, that's a sexual innuendo. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh, so but like you're writing like that, you don't have that anymore. So that's just what I guess what I miss about those older cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something enjoyable for everybody.
Very, very true.
All right. I've only been quiet because I've been eating. I don't like talking with my mouth full.
Nah, I understand.
But I really don't have anything to add to it. You guys kind of just went over all the main points. Not gonna lie.
So do you not have a favorite show then, Tim?
I do have a favorite show actually. My favorite show was not mentioned somehow.
Oh, there's a
Really?
lot of good shows that weren't mentioned. I mean, we can just do a back and forth of that if you want.
We could
So
literally talk about cartoons like for like a whole like
my
3 or 4
my favorite
hours.
cartoon of all time, it will forever be Ben 10, the original series.
Oh.
Oh yes,
I
yes.
love Ben 10. I love it. I am an avid like deviant for that show. After Ben 10, it would have to be Danny Phantom
Yes, you gotta have Danny Phantom.
because
And,
my favorite character in Danny Phantom is Ember.
Oh, yes!
I love her.
Ember, you will remember.
oh, now I remember who she was. I think I think for me like I think definitely top cartoons that I grew up with was number one, hands down, has to be Kim Possible. That was like my
Yes!
number one show. Kim
Yes.
Possible was the shit for me. Number two has to be Danny Phantom for me. I just
Yes.
love Danny Phantom. I thought he was awesome. The whole I'm going ghost was like dope. And then I number three is a tie. Number three is a tie because when I was growing up, I grew up with a show called Franklin. And I don't
Yes,
know, yeah,
Franklin!
Yes.
you know the show, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the little
Yeah.
turtle.
I'm
So
gonna
I
say
love that
Franklin the
show.
Turtle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Franklin the
turtle.
Turtle. I love that show. And then, but the number like the reason why I say it's very close is because I also heavily grew up with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yeah, Thomas. Does that mean JJ the Jet Plane too?
No, I never actually watched JJ the Jet Plane. I was really Thomas. Like to this day, I could actually like go to my my spare bedroom or my spare room, and I could go into our closet because I have literally every single Thomas the Tank Engine train that ever came out
Oh
in
my
the show.
gosh.
I was that big on Thomas the Tank Engine. Like I had every single set, I had every single tank engine. Like it was to me, it was like it was a different deal, and I loved trains growing up as a kid, and that was really where I got it all.
So I gotta get this off my chest because there was a cartoon show, and I know some people do get like this, especially when they have kids. But there was a cartoon show that I used to watch with my nieces and nephews growing up. I used to put it on for them all the time, and I eventually got addicted to the show. And that show is Team Umizoomi.
Yes.
Some people don't know about it, but I used to put it on.
I will be right back.
Nieces and nephews, you see it.
Yep.
Okay,
I
I'm back.
recognize it. Yes, this was a great show. Welcome back. Yeah, this actually was a good show.
Are we still on cartoons?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got some for you that I really loved. Rocket Power, Ed, Ed and Eddie, of course.
Ed is a classic.
Yes.
Ed is a classic.
Yes. And shoot, American Dragon Jake Long.
I was about to say that one next. I was about to say that one next. American Dragon Jake Long, I think, was like the very first show that I saw where I was like, now that I'm older and I can confidently say, I was like, maybe that played into a little bit of me being a furry. Maybe. Just maybe. The fact that you had a kid turning into a dragon, I was like, maybe that maybe might have done me in for being my start of my furry career.
You know a show that gave very similar vibes, but is also not as well known, so I don't know if you guys would have watched it, but it was Jackie Chan Adventures or something like that,
Yeah,
where like
yes,
he
I do
taught
remember
his
that show.
niece kung fu or something for bad guys.
Yeah, I do remember that show.
I feel like
That
it
was
had a
just an
very
older
similar
show.
vibe. Yeah.
That was definitely one of those shows though where I was like, I did watch it, but I wasn't. I don't remember so much about it because it was, I think, one of my like lesser watched shows.
It was really obscure.
Yeah. Now you know what was another great show? Bob the Builder. Y'all remember Bob the Builder?
Yeah.
Of course, watch
Dude,
it.
to this day, I will never forget the theme song. I'll never forget the Scarecrow too from that show. Freaking hippity hop, I'm in disguise. I was like, that. Oh my god, I still have a lot of those tapes on. I still have a lot of them on VHS, man. The golden days.
What about Wild Thornberries? You guys ever watch
I
that?
was about to say Wild Kratts. I was about to say, man.
Hey,
don't
that
even get started
too.
on that show.
Actually, no. The better version of Wild Kratts is the Boomafoo. Same people.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I do remember Wild Thornberries. I think the one that I relate to most was the red haired kid with the dreads where he was like, I was like, that's
Darwin.
me in a nutshell when I'm on caffeine. I was like bouncing off the walls.
That was Darwin. That was her little brother that they found or something in a rainforest or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that show. Now that I really think about it, I remember that show. There was that one in Magic School Bus.
Yes.
Magic School Bus.
Yes. We used to watch that all the time in school.
Yeah, seatbelts, everybody. Oh, please let this be a normal field trip with the friends. No way. I was like, dude, I still get hyped. I still get hyped up when I hear that song. I was like,
Hey,
I'm
nah.
praying. I'm praying one day that if I ever go to like a rave, like say like a 2000s rave, that the DJ just somehow manages to put that song into like the mix, and I'll just immediately go hype.
I
I
mean,
think
I was like this.
I liked Arnold the best on there.
Yeah, Arnold was good. Hey, Arnold was great.
Oh, that
Arthur
too.
was another good one.
That too.
Arthur was
Every day
solid.
when you're walking down the
Get
street,
down the street to
and you
everybody
find
Buddy
that
that you meet
meet,
has
you
an
take a
original
look
point
at
of
your
view.
neighbor,
and I say, hey,
hey,
what a
Hey,
wonderful kind of day.
day.
That was such a banger song,
that
man.
was
That was
good.
such a good song.
Let's see, what other?
Yeah,
Oh, Cat Dog. Did you guys ever watch that?
Cat Dog was, yes, I do remember Cat
Cat
Dog.
Dog, Fanboy
Cat
Chum
Dog was
Cat
Chum.
Dog.
No,
Cat Dog.
Fanboy Chum
I
Chum I
love-
never watched. I never watched Fanboy and
That's
Chum Chum.
that's understandable considering it was kind of like in the background or wasn't really like if you watched it you knew it, but it's like if you
That
didn't-
was definitely more. I think Fanboy Chum Chum was definitely more along the lines of once I started hitting 8th grade, starting getting into high school. That's when that was coming out, and I was like, yeah, no, this is not like my kind of cartoon.
My guilty pleasure show that I used to watch as a kid that like for the life of me I wouldn't tell a single soul. I wouldn't tell a soul that I watched it, but it was my guilty pleasure. You might not know it. It's called Winx Club.
Oh,
I
Wings.
know it.
God.
I
never watched it,
though.
I know Wings Club.
Guilty pleasure show. I love it.
I know Wings Club. I had a crush on the main character. What was her name?
What? Bloom.
Wings Club. I think is it Bloom? Was she the
Yeah.
redhead?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had a crush on Bloom, and then I had my second pick was the the brunette.
I know
Who
her.
was the
You're
brunette?
talking. I think her name's Aura, if I'm not mistaken, or Flora. That's
I
her.
had
Flora.
the other one was the brunette, and that's where that's pretty much those shows. When I watched it with my sister, that was when I started to discover like my taste in women.
I'm
I was
sorry,
like,
but also,
I was like, oh
I'm trying
yeah.
to doubt you guys' knowledge. I'm trying to doubt you guys' knowledge because you guys haven't mentioned the your backyard friends,
The Backyardigans.
Backyardigans.
That was more my sister watching that.
Yeah,
That's it for me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
the Backyardigans was also another one where I was like, I think that was like me fresh out of middle school and starting to go.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch that one.
Now, I did watch Codename Kids Next Door and Totally Spies,
Yes.
though.
Yeah, I was about to say Kids Next Door and Totally Spies. That was a fire.
Mm-hmm.
That's a banger.
Now, I did used to have a crush on number 4.
Number
Which one was number 4? Number 4
Wallaby,
was
the short
yellow
one. Yeah.
Yeah, the short with the orange.
Yes.
Orange hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my favorite because they had that kind of like that crossover episode with Dragon Ball. Because I think that was around the time when Dragon Ball was starting to come out on Cartoon Network. So they had a crossover where he will go where that character went Super Saiyan and his hair was so long that it weighed him down.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I'm realizing now that there are, like, I really realize how many shows I went through as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
There's still tons we could name. Like, did you guys ever watch 16?
It's familiar. Hold on. Yes. 16 sounds familiar to me.
It's very similar to, like, the style and audience of, like, the Winx Club or of Totally Spies, things like that. But it was a whole bunch of teenagers at the mall.
Yep. I do remember seeing this. I remember seeing like 1 or 2 episodes of it. It wasn't like my most watched one, but I do remember sitting down with my sister every now and then and watching it.
Or
The one
Doug,
that was, like-
or Recess.
Yes. Yeah, Recess. I do remember Recess.
Recess, bro.
was solid.
Sonic
Recess
X
was
and
great.
Sonic Underground.
Don't even get me started on
Sonic
man.
Underground.
And then no, the best part about Cartoon Network was right after all those cartoons were over, the anime started coming in. So you had Pokemon, you had Yu-Gi-Oh, you had Dragon Ball. I was like, oh.
The first ever
man.
anime that I ever watched was on Toonami, and it was Parasite the Maximus. That was the first ever anime that I've ever watched, and to this day, it is such a good anime.
The first ever anime I ever watched is I don't fully remember, so it's a tie between Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, or Hamtaro.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
solid.
Yeah.
Solid.
And
Yeah,
Naruto was the first one I watched that it triggered, like, oh, wait, this is anime? This is not cartoons? It's something different? And that's when it opened the world of anime to me.
Because the crazy part is, I watched Parasite the Maximum back then when it came out on TV. I watched one episode. I got addicted to the opening, but I could not figure. I didn't know it was anime. I didn't know what anime was.
Exactly.
I didn't figure out what that was until 3 years later. And I was pissed because that entire time I spent trying to find out what it was. And I was just in my head. I'm like, I just remembered the title screen of Parasite, and I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
Where? How do I find it?
Yeah. All I remember was when I first started, like the first anime that I watched was obviously, as I said earlier, my first one was Dragon Ball because of Cartoon Network. I didn't know what that was. Same as you, Icy Storm. I didn't know what anime was at the time. So I was like, oh, this is a dope show. So when Dragon Ball came on and I saw Goku fighting, martial arts, doing Kamehameha, I was like, bro, like, this is a cool show. It was like, and then as I got older, I was like, what is this? Like, because I kept watching it. And eventually, it left Cartoon Network, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but by the time
Toonami.
it left, I was old enough to have access to the internet, and I was like, what was that show? What was Dragon Ball? And that's when I found out that it was anime, and that's when
Fire hair and a turbocharged backpack.
Oh, Johnny Test, yeah, Johnny
Yes.
Test.
Use them like
elaborate. I still think the very first song was the best song that they did for that show.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Super frizzy mom.
The problem was they had to change the theme song because it sounded too closely to Green Day's one of Green Day's songs.
Oh, really?
Change it. Yeah, so the
I never caught on to that.
For Johnny Test was so closely similar to a song made by Green Day that they actually had to redo the whole song.
Which song was it?
The original on YouTube.
Which song by Green Day was it?
I'm trying to let me Google it right now. Because there's a video I know that someone made where it was a comparison of the two songs. Johnny Test original. It was, let's see here. And this, which one was it? Comparison. It was American Johnny Test theme song is similar to American Idiot. That's what it was. So the song.
Oh, okay, I can kind of see that.
Very first show.
I
can
see that.
Version that they had was too similar to American Idiot.
I can see that, yeah. Hey, did you guys ever get scared of... Now, I never did, but apparently a whole bunch of kids did. Get scared of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy or of Courage, the Cowardly Dog?
I got scared of Courage, the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah,
really?
Courage, the Cowardly Dog, yes. Return the slab! That gave me nightmares.
I wouldn't say it gave me nightmares, but it was just like, it was that image that sat in the back of your head, rent free.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Courage the Cowardly Dog, I think
nightmare fuel.
Yeah, it was nightmare fuel. But guess what? I think that show is the reason why I actually can handle playing Dark Soul games, because the Dark Soul style games are literally just that. They're nightmare fuel.
Makes sense.
So I was like, I was definitely scared of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Billy, the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, I watched that show, but I was never scared of it, but it was just more like a funny show to me.
Alright, I've got a quote from a cartoon. See if you guys can recognize this old school one. Okay. I like cheese.
Oh man.
Hold on.
I like cheese. This is literally all he says. I like cheese.
Isn't that Foster's home?
Yes. Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yes,
There was one named Cheese, and he just says, "I
yes,
like
his
cheese."
name was Cheese.
Oh, okay.
There's also
I
the
remember
quote
that.
of "I like chocolate milk."
I remember that
I
show
remember.
too.
I was like,
That
second
was-
she said I like cheese, I was like, hold on. Wait a minute.
Okay, how about this one?
I remember.
Rada rada. Rada rada rada.
Oh, that's
Chowder,
chowder.
chowder.
That's chowder.
Chowder, yeah.
That's chowder.
You know, at
That's
first,
See, no,
That's chef. That's
Chowder
chef.
was one of those.
Yes.
Shows, I feel like Chowder was one of those shows that was also like semi-brain rot.
it was. And it was like the start of it, honestly.
That was when brain rot was starting to catch up to me. So I was like, I think that at that point I was like, yeah, I started watching cartoons less and less just simply because of that, because more shows just being more and more brain rot. I was like, yeah, there's nothing here. There's nothing here that's like interesting or anything like that.
And that one always kind of, not necessarily weirded me out, but it, like the style of the patterns, where they just like basically stuck a pattern in the back and just had the animation over it. So the pattern, like, it wasn't, it didn't move with the clothes, and that always got to me and just, it threw me off so much. I thought it was so weird.
That's fair. That's understandable. But then also, it's like, I felt like, and one thing that gets me when it comes to older cartoons is you realize how much the skybox does not change.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at all the old cartoons that you grew up with. 90% of the time, the sky stays the same throughout the entire show.
Because they're more focused on the characters.
And when someone brought that up to me the other day, it threw my world. Because I was like, you're telling me the sky, especially in SpongeBob, the sky stays the same, does not change.
Uh-huh.
And I also realized another thing of watching a lot of game theory, film theory, whatever, was that the Bikini Bottom is actually just a pollution bed.
Yeah, there was some theory about it being like a radioactive, like, zone or something.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just a lot that I'm just now starting to remember from cartoons. Like, it's actually kind of crazy how all the memories are just now starting to surface back again. It's like a filing cabinet, you know. It's like A to Z, trying to find them again.
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned Powerpuff Girls or Rugrats yet.
Powerpuff Girls was a very interesting show for me. I didn't watch it as much.
I liked Mojo Jojo.
I love Rugrats because they gave me my favorite song of any cartoon, which is "I Want a Mom That Can Last Forever."
I don't remember that one.
I want a mom.
That show for me was really.
It was
For me,
it
that
was the
show was-
Rugrats movie.
Which movie?
Was on the plane.
That show for me was depressing because it was essentially a show that taught you that's like, you know, at some point you gotta grow up.
Yeah,
Hey.
it taught you growing up is scary.
But hey, they did all grown up, and that actually turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
But then still, it showed you the sad realization of like. Same thing with Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents showed you that
Yes.
like you're not a kid forever.
Well, I mean, technically he wished to be one, and,
Yeah,
you know, he was like
yeah.
30 or
Which is-
something.
Yeah, he made a wish to stay young forever for like 50 years ago. I was
Yeah.
like, what? Been living a lie this whole time.
Yeah, now they're
Yeah,
with,
best
like,
part-
some new kid.
Like, yeah, the best part about it was the writers actually wrote in, like we mentioned earlier, innuendos. They wrote innuendos hinting that Timmy, at points of his life, was an adult. Like, there was an episode that I saw where it wasn't even an episode, it was someone was saying that these were all the innuendos that the writers put into the show, giving us hints that Timmy did something to where he was an adult at some point. And one of the episodes was there was a lady, he ran into a lady that he thought was attractive, and she had a tattoo of his name and a heart on her arm, And the second he saw that, he immediately booked it. I was like, "What the? What was
Wait,
that about?"
what? What episode was that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
there's an
I remember
episode of
that.
a lady where he ran past her. Yeah, it was a lady in a red dress, and he ran past her, and he came back because he wanted to compliment her because she.
I
she
could
was
probably
very
pull up
attractive.
a clip. I could probably pull up the clip and show you that.
Yeah, probably. So it's definitely online, and she had a tattoo with his name on it. And the second he saw that, he immediately booked it again. And it was crazy because she actually said his name too. She said Timmy, like really curiously, and she had a smile on her face. And he immediately booked it, and I was like, "What was that about?" And then a couple like years later, the episode drops where he made that wish, and it's like, "Oh my god, all those innuendos now make sense." I was like, that must have been like the story writers had that plan from the get go.
Was her name Carly? Because googling I see a picture of Timmy with a heart tattoo with the name Carly in it on his chest.
Yes, that's it. That's the clip then.
Man, shows are not what they used to be.
No, not at all. Like, and it's kind of sucks that it's like that because it's like when you think about it, like we grew up.
Wait, hold on. Wait, here
oh, nobody said Caillou yet.
You talking about the?
Caillou.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dragon Tales. Did you guys ever watch that one?
I don't think I grew up with Dragon Tales.
I remember Dragon Tales, but I the only one I remember is the Blue Dragon. That's it. I
Mm.
only remember the Blue Dragon.
Okay, what about Little Bill? That was around the same time of
I
Franklin.
remember Little Bill.
Little Bill.
No, I don't remember Little Bill. I don't think I ever saw Little Bill. Let me see
Ooh,
Little Bill.
Roly Poly Oly. That was a good one.
Yes, I do remember Roly Poly Oly.
I'm
The
just
theme
cheating
song
now.
evades me, but I do remember Roly Poly Oly.
Or Chalk Zone.
No,
Who was-
I never watched.
You never watched Chalk Zone?
No, I did not watch Chalk Zone.
Oh, they could make anything they imagine come to life. It was like Foster's, except you had to draw it and you could make the whole world, not just a friend.
Okay. No, you know what show that I watched after? It was you probably remember this show too, Tim. Hot Wheels. You remember Hot Wheels?
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
When Hot Wheels was like super big, you had Hot Wheels Acceleracers, you had Hot Wheels Battle Force 5, and that was the one that I generally like watched the most. I watched Hot Wheels Battle Force 5 like crazy. It was such a great show. But yeah, I wish Hot Wheels would come back and do like cartoons again, because those were actually like really dope shows. Especially when the shows tailored into a lot of the products that they were releasing.
You know, another cartoon that was similar to the Magic School Bus in the fact that, you know, it taught you stuff was Cyber Chase. Did you guys ever watch that?
Yes. Funny enough about Cyber Chase was me and my sister, we actually had the game, like the PC game.
Oh, nice.
So there was like, and these are like for anybody like watching the stream, this was not like a PC game like today.
You have to have the disc.
Yeah, where you can go on Steam and you can get like your digital copy of it. No, this was a physical disc that you put into your CPU, like your CD-ROM drive.
Your CD-ROM drive, yeah. Man, we're dating ourselves here.
I know.
I'm only 20, right? And I'm so old. I'm young.
This was like, people, you guys don't understand. This was a disc you put in your CD-ROM drive. Your computer would take ages to download the game.
And then you couldn't play without it in.
Yeah, you could not play without the disc actually in. You had to have the disc in it. And if it was scratched, oh my god, you pray to God it wasn't scratched.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had the Cyber Chase game, and the cool thing about the Cyber Chase game was it was a it was essentially like you said, it was a game that taught you stuff. So we
Mm-hmm.
learned actually how to type on the Cyber Chase game. There was a game mode where if you could type a certain amount of speed at a certain amount of time limit, you'd like stop something from happening. So
Mm-hmm.
it had different like cool like informational stuff on it. And I was like, oh my god, there's so many stuff like that. Like another game that we had too, a PC game. People may not remember this, but back then, you guys probably know it too. Street Fighter was a big thing,
Oh
right?
yeah.
The arcade game Street Fighter was a big thing. So what ended up happening was Street Fighter, Capcom, they made a PC game of Street Fighter, and my dad actually got that. And me and my sister, oh my god, my sister would whoop my ass at that game.
I always liked Mortal
Like, oh
Kombat more
god,
than Street Fighter.
Mortal Kombat was solid, but like
Mm-hmm.
that was like the very first, like my very first experience with computer gaming right there. Like that's where it started it all. Like I had an Xbox, my like yeah, I had a PC before we had an Xbox. But when I got my Xbox, because my cousin he had ended up giving me his like the very first Xbox that came out, like literally the very first one. I still have it. It's over here. It's in storage somewhere. You know what? I'm probably gonna go out and like later today and go get it just to boot it up. But that was pretty much where gaming started for me. I think this is actually a really good tie-in now to like how did all of us really like get into gaming, as well, growing up and to eventually to what we do now, which is essentially stream, content creation and stuff like that. So it's like, let me extend this question off to you guys. Like, what got you guys into games like in the first place?
Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem?
Duke Nukem on the PlayStation 2.
Hmm. PlayStation 2 is the best system, hands down. Fight me for it.
Yes.
Yes. I will agree with that. I will agree with that statement simply because when the PSP came out, almost every single PS2 game you could play on the PSP.
Yes, I still have my PSP.
So do I. I have two.
Dang, nice.
Now, on the topic of handheld consoles, have you guys seen the news on the latest Xbox handheld console that'll be coming out?
No.
Okay, here is my problem with handhelds. But before we get into this conversation, we kind of skipped over Cosmic for
Before we get into this
got
conversation,
yeah.
a quick word from our sponsor.
Oh, am I the
You want-
sponsor?
Well, I was like, I don't know if he's trying to tell me it's like, Umbra, talk about your W sponsorship, talk about it.
I was like, what?
No.
That's
I'm talking
confused.
about my video, not you guys. No, I'm talking about my video.
Oh, your video, but I mean, I guess.
Raid
but yeah,
Shadows on this plan.
Raid Shadow sponsors, that'd be crazy. But yeah, before we get into the whole handheld console thing, Cosmic, what was your experience with gaming, and how did you first get into it, and how did it lead into what you do essentially now, which is stream and content creation?
Also, fuck all of you.
I think some of the first
Irrelevant.
games. I think some of the first games I played were back on like Game Boy Color, like Pokemon Yellow, or there was like a Simpsons like boxing game or like skateboarding game or something. And then it kind of morphed from like handhelds like Game Boy Color and the SP to like the PlayStation 2 with Final Fantasy and more like storyline games versus just like quick games. And then got a computer and came across computer games like The Sims. And oddly enough, a weird Spy Kids game from when that movie first came out. It was like on the DVD with it. It was actually kind of fun to play. And then other online games like Neopets and things like that. And yeah, honestly, I wish that I would have started VTubing and gaming a lot sooner than I did. But unfortunately at the time, I didn't have the time nor the money for a model or anything like that. Even like a PNG model. And I had too much already on my plate with art and animation in high school and college to put an extra project on my plate to make. So, yeah. But I'm here now, and it's fun.
Yeah, there you go. It's like, yeah, I think that's pretty much for a lot of people out there who are starting out on their content creation journey. Anybody who wants to be a VTuber, I know I myself, like I don't have the money really to be making like to be commissioning people for like a new avatar. I love the one that I have now because it's literally kind of, it just fits the aesthetic of what I already wanted,
Mm-hmm.
which is High Wire from Fortnite. So it's like, it fits the vibe, it fits the wolf vibe that I wanted, and everything about my characters is always about being at nighttime, coming out at night.
Hey, thanks for the sub,
having all that stuff.
Zilpha.
But it's like you said, it's like a lot of us don't have
I hope I
the
pronounced that
money,
right.
so we work with what we got, and I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now we can really tie into the whole handheld console thing. But if you ask me, handheld consoles are, at least the ones that we have now, they're not the handheld consoles that I think we were expecting like way back when.
Yeah. I feel like they kept getting bigger. Like they're not handheld anymore. It's like you have to carry around a whole freaking laptop or tablet just to play. I'm like, I want something small, like maybe the 3DS or like the SP. Something small, compact, even as big as the PSP would be fine. But everything's so much bigger than that now, and I don't know. Takes the fun out of it.
Indeed, it does. Handheld consoles today are exactly how I picture it. It's like you can't. To me, a handheld console is similar to our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like the PSP is a good example of this. The DS is a great example of this because they weren't that much bigger than our phones that we carry around today, and they weren't that much bigger than honestly our hands in general. So if we wanted to, we could literally take our DSs, our Game Boys, our PSPs, we could slide them into our pockets and take them anywhere.
Exactly.
Not have to worry about that. So nowadays, like you mentioned, handheld consoles are just so big to the point where it's literally a small PC in the palm of your hand, but at the same time, it's like they're so big, they're so bulky, to the point where you pretty much need like your own designated like sling bag to be carrying it around with you if you want to be considerate. And to me, that's not a handheld console anymore. That's just
a console.
It's just it's just a smaller console. To me, a handheld console is like I said earlier, it has to be like the size of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Or like roughly like slightly bigger, but no bigger than your hand, or a little slightly bigger than your hand, slightly bigger than your phone, but enough to where you could slide it into your pocket and
exactly.
really just not know it's even there. You know what I mean? Like
you don't have to bring extra stuff for it,
Exactly. Yeah.
And
I remember like walking around the PSP and I'd forget that I have it on me.
Exactly.
And I'd be with my mom shopping with my mom, and I'd be so bored. I'd be like, "Wait a minute, I have my PSP." Whip it out. That sounds wrong. That sounds so wrong. But I'd whip it out.
What?
Whip it. Yeah, you're right. That's right. I'm saying it. I'm whipping it out. Whipping out the PSP. I'll turn that sucker on, and I'll just start playing whatever game that I had on the disc.
Now,
or whatever game that I would download from the store.
With the PSP, honestly, I loved that you could not only play games, but you could also browse the internet and listen to music, and you could customize it like down to the buttons and everything. And personally, when they changed the PS2 to the PS3, and it was basically a console version of the PSP, I honestly didn't like it at that point. I still preferred the PSP. But, for the DS now, I absolutely loved the Street Pass thing that they had. Whenever I would go to cons, I would meet so many new people, and it was so fun. Because everyone would just, have their DS on in their pocket, and, be going about their con stuff, and you'd come back to it, and there'd be, 50 new people. It was really fun.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing about the DS was that whole thing was you could link up with people that also had the system, and I don't think Nintendo. I'm pretty sure that they never capped it either, because all the DSs that came out after the 3DS and here on, they all shared the same system. I think where you could still link up with people on the old DS.
Actually, I think they took off their not necessarily their Wi-Fi, but like that I don't know what you call it. But like kind of how they took the store down from the Wii, same concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to the PSP too, because you can't. Like I could boot on my PSP right now, and go to the PlayStation Store, but I can't buy anything from the PlayStation Store because that shut down
Mm-hmm.
for the PSP. But
Super Mario Galaxy.
yeah,
back.
I know. But yeah, the PSP the PSP and the DS were very much ahead of their time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very much it that was very much the direction that I think a lot of people thought was like, yes, this right here is the future of gaming, a handheld console, and that was truly a handheld console, especially knowing the fact that you could download PS2 games on the PSP, and
Mm-hmm.
if you wanted to, you could get a bigger storage, like a bigger storage SD card. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I have a modded PSP that has every single PS2 game that ever came out for the system, and every single PSP game that ever came out for the system.
Dang.
And I have like a massive storage card on it because there were people back in the day that sold those converter storage ones, so it would fit into the PSP, but you can
Oh
fit a
yeah.
smaller. You can get a bigger, smaller storage SD card and just slide it into the converter and then put it into your PSP, and then you had like tons of storage.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that. And then the cool thing about the PSP too is a lot of people don't remember this, but the PSP had what I like to call um, something something that the DS they completed with the DS, which was the fact that the DS I think had the camera. The DS had a camera.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
it did. Mm-hmm.
Remember, the DS had a camera. It wasn't the greatest, but it had a camera, so you could take photos. Now the PSP, it also actually had a camera, but it was an attachment. However, there was a bundle that PSP Sony essentially sold where it was a game, and from this game, I actually found out this game, it was how essentially Pokemon Go and stuff like that came to be reality. So this game was called Invisimals on
I
the
don't
PSP.
remember that.
Yeah,
It was
so
called Aja.
the game was called Invisimals on the PSP, and essentially it works exactly the same way as Pokemon Go does. It had roughly the same concept where you would take your camera and you would catch these really cool, interesting monsters, and you would level them up, and you would fight. You could fight other people's monsters, or you could do the story and play the story monsters. But the majority of it was like you'd catch these monsters via out in the world. You had like this special trap, like this special card. It was like a mix of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh together because you had like this little special card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you throw this card that I kid you not, the company called it a trap card. It was a little you throw this trap
my
card.
trap card.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do every single time. Like, you activated your trap card. I'd throw the trap card down, and depending on the environment that you were in, you would get closer to where the monster was. You'd throw the card down, and you'd find the monster. And it was completely random what the monster was too.
Hmm.
It could be like one of like the really like OP monsters, or it could be like a crazy mix of two different monsters. Like the combinations were kind of endless with Invisibles, and I was like, oh my god. I had that game, I had that specific bundle, and I had so much fun with it because no matter where I went, my PSP was always giving me heads up, like, "Hey, heads up, there's a monster nearby," and it was literally that version of Pokemon Go now, where people are on their phones, like, "Hey, you got a Pokemon nearby? There's a Pokestop right here," stuff like that. So I was like, "Oh my god, I remember this, but on a PSP."
Nice,
So,
nice.
it's just so interesting to go back and think about all that stuff, but yeah, I think the future of handheld consoles is just completely strayed from the path of what we had in terms of the DS and
Oh, 100%.
the
It
PSP.
did.
I mean, even the PS Vita, I was like, wow, this is like a big PSP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't
But
need
then-
all this.
But then also, it's like when you think about it, it's like think about how much times have changed. It's like
That's
when you think
true.
about it nowadays, it's like everything that we get is higher. It's like the reason why they're charging so much is because like, and it actually leads me into my next segment, which is uh the new Xbox handheld console. Some people were talking about the prices, like, oh my god, why is it this? And I'm like, but I was like, you know what? Think about it like this: it's a portable PC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it has the same processing power as like $1,000 PC, but it's not $1,000. I'm like, and it can play Steam games, which means it can play PlayStation games on Steam. It can play Epic Games. It has Epic Games on it. It has the Xbox Game Pass library.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
It's like,
it's $700. And I'm like,
yeah.
but when you think about it, I'm like, you're getting a pocket PC. I'm like, you can play any Steam game on it.
The same thing was pretty much said, except the same thing was said for like off topic with it. It's kind of similar to the Switch. Now, when the Switch 2 came out, people were immediately, it's like, oh my god, it's like, why am I gonna spend this much amount of money for the Switch when I could just get a Steam Deck? And the immediate thing I saw people were talking about was like, well, the Steam Deck can't do 60 frames per second. I was like, neither can the Switch.
No.
The Switch can't do 60 frames a second either. You have to have it plugged into the dock, and at the same time, guess what? You have to have a specific HDMI cable for it to actually do 60 frames on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason why, like, because I get people, because like my friend, I helped him build his PC, and he was like, dude, I want like 4K and all this stuff, and I was like, no, you don't. He was like, yeah, I do. I was like, dude, you do. I was like, what kind of TV do you have? He was like, well, I got this type of TV. I was like, your TV doesn't handle 4K. It doesn't.
Yeah.
He was like, what do you mean? He was like, shouldn't it just work because it's the console? I'm like, that's not how it works. It's the same thing with a monitor. If my PC can handle 4K, but my monitor is rendered in 1080p, my monitor cannot play a game in 4K.
Exactly. Your monitor is only going to give you 1080p.
It's the same thing. If your monitor is rendered in 144 frames, but your PC is capped at 120, you're only going to get, so there's no point of getting a high-end monitor then.
Very true. Very, very true.
So
and I had to tell my friend that, and he was like, why is it so like expensive for everything? I was like, the most expensive thing you're gonna get is the parts. Not even the parts for your PC, it's the accessories to your computer. I'm like, because you have to remember, you gotta buy keyboard, you gotta buy a mouse, you gotta buy headphones, you gotta buy what else? You gotta buy desk, you gotta buy chair.
Honestly,
if you don't have all that stuff, it's like
the biggest spending, honestly, because you could spend $1,000, you could spend $1,500 on a PC just in general, and then you could spend another $1,000 just on the accessories alone. So your setup alone will run you almost $2,500 if you want a good setup.
Exactly. Like, that's if you ball out, because I'll say my computer alone probably cost me like $1,200, and I don't have that crazy of a computer. It's just it's just like, mind you, my graphics card, I have a 3060 Ti. I have, and I think I have an i5 Intel CPU, but it's like those two, like by the end of themselves, like not that expensive.
Yeah.
But it's like I have a beautiful case with a LED screen. I have 2 terabytes of SSD, and then I have 64 gigabytes of RAM. So it's like my actual assets outweigh the CPU and GPU. That's why I told my friends, I'm like, dude, my CPU and GPU are holding everything else back in my system. I really do not think that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same with me right now. It's like there's a lot of games that I want to play, but the reason why I can't play is because my system itself can't handle the games. It's like I could buy it, but I was like, I can't play it because my system itself can't handle it.
That's honest.
At some point,
Go ahead.
So it's like, for me, it's like I have to honestly like wait to upgrade my system, or what I'll do is I've been looking to do something completely different, which is I'll probably keep the PC that I have now just to run like my avatar and my OBS software, my streaming software, and then get another PC, one that actually can handle like the tougher games, and then I'll have like an Elgato that goes between the two, so that way I can actually record this stuff from the gaming PC over to the actual streaming software.
Yeah, that was kind of the problem of why I had to get a new computer, because the last computer I had was I got in 2013. And if I had erased everything on it and put it back to factory settings, it still would not have the space to hold just the animation program that I would need to use for college. So I I don't it just I'm glad that I had to use the computer there cuz I did not have the money for it. But when I finally got this one, and when I say computer, I mean laptop.
Yeah.
um I still just have a
Wait, you
laptop.
game? Oh, you only have. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
I
then
stream,
you
I
already.
game, everything on a laptop. But I made sure to get the state of the art that would, like, the best laptop for animation. It's actually better than a lot of just actual gaming computers, not just laptops. And I
So that was gonna be my
spent,
next thing. I was gonna
I
say.
spent on it what I spent to buy my first car plus customize it, because I my first car is a punch bug. It was green, and I got it painted Suzuki yellow and made decals and put ears and a tail on it so it looks like Pikachu. Um, so
Nice.
yeah, so everything that I spent on my car is literally the exact what I put into this new computer. I made sure it had 2 terabytes of space. It had like as much customizable upgrades as it could. So not only was it like the best choice that they had, but I made sure to get all the options that I could so it could last me and be worth the money, you know.
Yeah. See, and that actually was that's actually a great way to good way to tie in this next thing with PCs over laptops now is what I'm starting to see is that it's actually a lot more feasible for most people, especially gamers, to actually get a laptop over a gaming like rig,
Mhm.
because laptops are starting to come out with literally like state of the art stuff, and
Mhm.
they're a lot cheaper than having to go with a base, with a desktop that also has the state of the art stuff.
Mhm. Very, very
So
true.
it's like you could still connect like your monitors to your laptop,
Mhm.
and or your laptop itself will count as a monitor too, because it
Yep.
has, it's got that smaller screen. So you could actually still stream and do all your stuff from like new laptops nowadays, instead of having to get like a solid rig to do everything for you already. So like the way the with PCs, it's like, you know, if I had known that, I would have honestly waited to get like a better pre-built, and then just probably worked on a laptop.
And honestly, I mean, it's
Truly.
not like just because you have a laptop you have to be on Wi-Fi either. I mean, they can still connect direct with Ethernet cable. It's just whether or
Yeah,
not you want a big bulky PC plus monitor or you want a portable laptop, you know?
yeah. And honestly, the benefits of the laptop outweigh the benefits of the desktop, because
Mhm.
the laptop, it's like you could have the laptop set up on a desk, right, with all your monitors and your streaming stuff, your
Mhm.
microphone, your camera, all that. And then say you're gonna go on vacation, or you're gonna go somewhere, or you're gonna go to a convention, you want to take your laptop with you. Boom, you just close it up, you
Yep.
unplug everything, and you could take it with you. So it's like the benefits really of laptops nowadays are starting to outweigh the benefits of the desktop. Now, granted, yeah, a desktop, you could get a desktop and do the same things, but the problem is like you can't take your desktop with you anywhere. You can't take it, well, you could, but to be honest, you're gonna have to set it up.
And most desktops, at least that
Um,
I know of, don't have Wi-Fi capabilities. It's you have to plug directly into the Ethernet cable. I could be wrong, but that's what I know, you know.
Some of them don't.
well,
You can either do that or you can get an adapter, like a USB adapter that plugs into the motherboard.
So my the problem is, and that it comes down to that, is the motherboard has to have that already built
Which
into
I
it.
feel like if you're building your PC, I feel like that's necessary because most people don't have. Like me,
Most people don't have
I
a
don't
direct connection to their an Ethernet.
like me. I live alone. I could do Ethernet, but I choose not to, just simply because it's more efficient for me to do Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi is really good. So I have no reason to do Ethernet.
Yeah, but yeah,
So
it's like, but it goes. It's like what I was saying. You know, you could have a laptop and then have all your streaming stuff for the laptop, and then I'm gonna go somewhere, or hey, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to convention. I'll just pack up my laptop, put it in my backpack, and I can go. And it's one of the big reasons why, like, say, people in photography, they always run with laptops because they can immediately plug the laptop into the camera, into the laptop, and start editing their photos right then and there. You know.
Exactly.
So it's like the pros for laptops are starting to now outweigh the pros for getting a desktop. To the point where they're becoming so powerful that you honestly don't need a desktop anymore.
Yeah, and that's true because it's like think about it like this: your average person doesn't really need a PC because I've told everyone this. I'm like, because all my friends they ask me, they go, "Should I get a PC or should I get a laptop?" And I told them I was like, "How often are you at home?" Yeah, what do you mean? I was like, "How often do you go out? How often do you not only play games, but if you get a PC, that PC becomes your life. You wake up, you get on your PC. It's like you're on your computer.
I wouldn't say that because it's situational, definitely. Like if you're someone who doesn't really go out very often and say like your work is tied to being on a PC, then yeah, a desktop is definitely a better, like a tower is definitely a better option for you because you're like you said, you're going to be spending majority of your time at home. But if you're someone who goes out very like at least decently often, does streaming and stuff like that, say for example us, but at the same time we also have hobbies outside of this, like say we go out of state, we go on vacations, you know, and we want to bring games with us, but we don't want to bring like say a Switch or anything like that. We want to bring like our Steam games and our PC games with us. Then we'll bring our we'll get our laptops because our laptops we can just take with us anywhere. We'll bring an external controller and then we're done.
And that's like I feel like that's why I'm starting to enjoy. That's why I told everyone I'm probably gonna buy the new Xbox handheld just simply because I travel a lot. I want to make this clear to my audience and everyone else, all friends, and even you guys in the call. I travel out of state at least 6 times a year.
Dang.
Why? Because I just want to see the world. Now, sometimes not all of those are out of state. Some of them are. Most of them are, but not all of them are out of state. Sometimes I go to conventions up in other parts of my state, but most of the time I'm traveling out of state. Like next year, I have 2 trips to Orlando, damn near back. It's like I'm going one with
one of them's with me,
and then another one's with family. And a lot of people ask me, they go, "How do you make time for like your significant other?" And I'm like, firstly, I don't have one. I'm the loneliest motherfucker you'll ever find. I'm convinced that if I ever get a girlfriend, she'll just fall in my lap. Like the gods will just drop her in my house. But until then, you know, I'll be delusional. And number 2, I just stopped really caring about everything. Kind of just got to go through life. Just honestly, just what do I say? What is it called? I forget what I say. Trust the process. Trust the process. Just kind of when you walk through something and you deal with something, just trust the process. Don't think too hard. Just trust the process. Because if you do that, everything will be a-okay.
Yes, that's pretty much you and me kind of like in the same mindset. But yeah, I think when the new Xbox handheld comes out, I probably will get it too, mainly because I like the fact that I can play Steam games on it. I can play Xbox games on it. I can play Xbox Game Pass games on it, and come come next week, I'll be able to play Helldivers on it because it's coming to Xbox.
Oh yeah, true.
So I won't really be missing out on any games anymore because what's it called? Sony has pretty much said that they're bringing all their games now to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. So
well, they didn't say. Well, the reason why that's happening because the new Xbox consoles from now on are gonna have Steam on it, and with Steam comes PlayStation, whether it be Spider-Man, God of War, The Last of Us. It's like so.
Yeah. So once Xbox released that console and said, yeah, you can play Steam games on it, I was like, okay, the console wars are over then because Steam games, like you said, you have God of War, you have Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man's on Steam, so it's like you no longer have to essentially play a specific console anymore to at least between PlayStation and Xbox, you don't have to play a specific console anymore.
But then also, like, because one of my friends, he was like, why would I get that when it's just another handheld? It's not even gonna be able to run. It's barely gonna be able to run 60 frames. I was like, firstly, the new Xbox is gonna run at 120 FPS. Have to iterate that. Yes, a handheld is going to be running at 120 FPS. Why? Because it has the processing power of your mother.
But yeah, so I do think I'm definitely gonna get that new Xbox handheld console because it's a nice option, and it's like you said, like whenever I go out and I travel, or say I don't want to get on my PC and I just want to game, but at the same time I don't want to be on my PC and on my chair. I just want to lay back on my bed and stuff like that. I'll just use my handheld because then I can play all my PC games on my handheld.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, I just think that when I do get it, I'm definitely gonna have to be like, okay, I need to get a case. Like, I need to get a case. I need to get like a screen protector, a sling, all that. So.
It was on the 9th hour.
That's fair.
We have a surprise guest joining us on Icy Storm's End.
Yeah, it's just my roommate. But man, okay, look, I'll say this, all right? From everyone's perspective down to the wire. If you were to get sent into any anime.
Ooh.
No, mind you, let me read you off the stipulations first.
Okay.
To the questions.
First, still not gonna stop me from thinking about
it. Main character. Let me put that out there for y'all who think y'all gonna hop in Naruto, Dragon Ball. Nah.
I'm always the main character. What are you talking about?
I'm about to say I'm gonna make myself the main character.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's crazy. Secondly, we're not doing no charity, so we're not handing out powers. You gotta work for this.
Well, what if in that anime world everyone already has a power?
I see where you're going with this.
If you sat there and took the risk to go to My Hero, I feel bad for you because you're gonna get that quirk of the guy that has a hammer for a head.
Well, not everybody in that world has quirks, so.
You know, that's even worse. I feel like because then if you just get transported,
you'd be quirkless.
Doesn't have one. It's just like damn, just normal. Basically, you should have just stayed in this world. Honestly, it would be better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the insurance in that world after everything gets destroyed.
Oh my gosh, man! Don't even start.
All right, enough of that. That's a story for another day. So yes, you are not the main character, but you can attempt to become one. That's completely up to you.
Okay.
You are not gifted anything overpowered. You have to work for your powers.
Okay.
Just like the normal system in the world. And lastly, I don't know. You just kind of just have fun.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's start with you then. What would your answer be since you proposed this?
Mine. I thought about this a long time ago. It's fairy tale.
Oh, nice.
Because think about it. Everyone has magic.
But you just said you don't get any.
No, you have to work for it. No, you have to work for it. I'm saying it's the same thing with My Hero. If you go in the world and you get a quirk, you just have to. It's not like anything overpowered. Like you're not gonna start off one-shotting people.
Well, yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
a random quirk
It's
that
like-
you get, right?
Yeah. It's the same thing with Fairy Tail. You just get a random magic, but you have to figure out how to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think my and plus, like, think about it like this. Not only could I work hard and join Fairy Tail Guild, I could join Sabretooth. I can join like any of those guilds. Like all those guilds are so cool. The world's fun. It's like I don't know. I just like that. I like it. I think it'd be
For me, I think I would still be in Dragon Ball, honestly.
I was thinking Dragon Ball.
Like, yeah, I would be in Dragon Ball simply because Dragon Ball, while Goku and Vegeta, yeah, they're aliens, right? And they have different types of blood. But one thing that Goku and Vegeta have always strived for was the fact that while they were more powerful than the average human, they still had to work to become Super Saiyans.
Mm-hmm.
They still had to work their ass off to be where they are at today, which is Goku having Ultra Instinct and Vegeta having Ultra Ego. So at the end of the day, while yes, Goku and Vegeta, like they were aliens and they were naturally stronger than the average human, in comparison to some enemies that Goku fought even long before he had the ability to go Super Saiyan, he was still like humans were still like going toe to toe with him.
Yes.
So I think I would still be in Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball, it's like it fits that narrative of you have to work for the power that you want. So
I feel like most people don't understand that, and they're like, because when you think of isekai animes, a lot of isekai animes that come out they're boring to me because the main character gets sent to another world, overpowered. They don't really work for anything.
Exactly.
There's no character growth. It's very cheesy because they either get a harem of slaves or they just find one fucking beast girl that just falls head over heels for them. They go on this long quest. They're either accepted by their kingdom or they're rejected. They go live their own life. Eventually, the kingdom realizes, oh shit, this character is overpowered. Let's put them back. The guy says, no, fuck you. I'm gonna kill anyone that steps on this land. They try and harm his significant other. He goes on a rampage. Then the significant other grabs him and goes, no, don't do this. And then he goes, okay, cool, say less. And then,
bros, I actually giving the rundown of most isekai animes. That's crazy.
I mean, just think about it. It's like it's such a cliche and seeable thing. It's like that's why there's one isekai that most people forget that it is an isekai, that I will give the grace to over every other isekai, and it is Overlord. Overlord is an isekai done very well.
Well, before we continue this conversation, Cosmic, which world I would say would you be in this?
Well, this is actually a pretty perfect question for Kozumi because the lore of her backstory is basically just me animated. So if she got sent to an anime world, it would probably be Pokemon. Because I would just love going on an adventure, you know, as a kid and getting to see the world, and I just love animals, so I would just love Pokemon. Now, if this other one counts as an anime, then this would be my choice, but I know there's a great debate over it. Avatar, The Last Airbender.
That's an anime.
A lot of people say it's not, it's a cartoon.
No, it's
toting the line. It's toting the line.
No, it's anime.
I say anime.
People who did the
Pokemon's
animation.
100% anime.
I say it goes based on style.
Is toting the line. I consider it anime, but it's
it's anime. So if we consider that anime, then that's my answer.
It follows literally the traditional artwork that almost majority of animes that came out around the same time were doing.
See, so you see it as the art style too, not where it was made. Because even if it was where it was made, it was still made in Korea. Because because they outsourced it.
Exactly. I see anime as the art style.
Exactly.
Anime is all about the art style. A cartoon is a cartoon for a reason.
Yes.
Like SpongeBob is a cartoon because it's animated. It's animated a certain way, but it's the audience it's tailored to is a young audience. Anime, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, sure it's animated. It may be animated to look like a cartoon, but guess what? The target audience that it's going towards is adults. It's not kids. It is adults that it's targeted.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is what determines the factor between a cartoon and anime. And
Well,
anime,
then that would be my choice.
We hear people all the time discussing it. People who don't understand anime was like, "Why are you watching cartoons?" Like, bro,
Bruh.
yeah, you see it as cartoons, but it's
They're
not
the same
cartoons.
people that bandwagon on it now, and they
Exactly.
get off now. They're like, oh my god, I've been watching anime for years. No, you haven't. All right, be so for real with yourself.
I know like 10 people where I was like, brother, you never watch anime in your life. You made fun of me for it. So I'm just like, yeah. So, you know, 100% Avatar is an anime. It's 100% the anime.
Okay, then that'll be my choice.
It was outsourced from Korea. So it's like, yes, it's outsourced from Korea. It's 100% anime. Period.
Okay.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing in the chat, in the YouTube comments. I don't want to hear nothing disagreeing that Avatar is not anime. It is. I will die on that hill.
I mean, that's a hill to die on.
I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill that Avatar is an anime.
All right.
But yeah,
all right.
100%
What's your
Dragon Ball?
All right. So another question, and this is one where we gonna make some people mad.
Uh-oh.
Don't lie. But what's an anime hot take that's gonna have an anime community at your neck?
Jujutsu Kaisen was not great.
Oh, that's you. I don't have a problem with it.
Kaisen.
Some people they're fighting
Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen. It was not that great. Okay.
They like LeBron fans of the anime community. Gojo, my
yes.
glorious king.
Yes. Jujutsu Kaisen is not that great. Is it good? Yes. Does it have a decent story? Sure, but it's very predictable. Like you could see what's coming from a mile away.
I'll also say it. Yeah. I mean that's true. That's very true. It's like I feel like I'll say it like this though. I felt like JJK was one of them shows where
I have another one. I have another hot take, but I don't know if you want to hear that one.
If it's anything about Demon Slayer, I swear to God, you're
I'm gonna say it.
Flying to your house. I'm flying to your house. If you say about the story, I'm flying to your house right now.
I'm gonna say it.
Don't you dare say Demon Slayer is only good because of the animation. Don't you dare say it.
Yep.
That's a lie.
Demon Slayer.
That is a lie.
Let me tell you, Demon Slayer would not be as hype as it is. Because let's be honest here, the majority of people who like anime, they're watching the anime. They're not reading the manga. They're not reading the source material or the what's it called? They're not reading the what's the other, the light novel? Yes. So majority of people nowadays who like anime, they're not reading the light novel and they're not reading the manga. So I'm excluding that. That's what I'm excluding. So when it comes to anime in the sense of the show, when it comes to the sense of the show, let's be honest here, the majority of people who watch anime, we watch the anime because the animation majority of the time is fire. The animation is dope. Now, for some of us, like myself, I don't really care about the animation. I need to see just a decent story. If it's a decent story, then I'm going to watch it. If it's a decent story and it has good animation, then it's great. But for me, Demon Slayer would not be as popular as it was as an anime if it was not animated by Ufotable. And for anybody watching the stream or on YouTube, Ufoldable is the same animation company that animated the Fate series.
Mm.
They've also done a lot of other work, but their most like well-known work is literally the Fate series. That's where they just go crazy. They're the studio where the meme that says freaking the
Thanks,
animators
Icy
forgot that they had a
Storm.
budget. That's the studio.
Appreciate the follow. I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far.
So yeah, Demon Slayer. That's my hot take. Demon Slayer
Hey!
would not be as popular as it is today. If it
Greatly
were not
appreciate
animated
it.
by Nickelodeon. That's my hot take.
Can you guys both look at your chats real quick for me?
Damn, hey, Icy with the gifted sub. Let's go. Really appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, greatly appreciated.
Alright, there you
So
guys
yeah,
go.
that's my hot take on this. What about you? What about you, Storm? Since you proposed the question,
Yeah.
what is your
Oh my god! See, oh
anime
my
hot
god! See, guys, the trick to getting treated well by streamers is gifting subs. See, everyone, can we get 10 gifted in the chat?
Was it? Were we not being nice?
I know. I was like, what's your name?
Firstly,
I've been a gracious host this whole time.
I know,
those
right?
are fighting words. All right, buddy. You best keep
Nah,
Demon
yeah.
Slayer. You keep my Demon Slayer out your in mouth.
Nah, man. I'll stay. That's another hill on that I will die.
That's a
on.
hill you will die.
Anime. Because I'm not knocking the source material. The source material is good. I love the manga and I love the light novel, but the anime itself, let's be honest here, the reason why people watch Demon Slayer is because the animation is fire. And that's really the majority of the time, like when I talk to Demon Slayer fans about it, that's the majority of the time how they got into it. They saw the animation, they're like, this was really cool. And then after they saw the animation, they actually liked the story that after, you know? So to me it's like
not true.
Exactly. So I was like, so that's my hot take. It's like Demon Slayer would not be as popular if it wasn't for Ufoldable.
My anime hot take. Oh, this is something. 'Cause I got a few, but if I had to pick one, I would say that
Corinna,
I would probably,
dude, I am going to
I would
butcher
probably
names,
say that out of the big three, I would say Bleach is the most overrated. Like Bleach is overrated.
It is pretty overrated.
Yeah, you know, I agree with that.
I would die on that hill. I can understand. I used to say One Piece is overrated. The reason why I'm hey,
hold on, wait, hold on. I have a first time chatter. I have a first time chatter.
All right, they don't. All right,
Give me
who's the first time chatter?
It's probably pronounced Kurenai. Like, you know, from Naruto, like Kurenai?
Yeah, Kurenai. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kurenai senpai.
Kurenai. Well, thank you for the follow, first and foremost. Hello, how are you doing?
Wait, is that the person I gifted a sub to?
Yes.
Just a friend.
Let me actually do this too, because this is another thing that I just completely forgot to do. I forgot to put in the Twitch chat into the actual stream, but welcome to the stream. I can call you Jen. I appreciate it, but welcome to the stream. It's essentially just a podcast as its title, podcast of life. We're talking about just random stuff. Open conversation, can go anywhere. Right now we're talking about anime and anime hot takes, and if you have any anime hot takes, then feel free to drop them in the chat.
Yeah, and if your anime hot take's good enough, I'll gift you a sub.
By the way, Umbra, we should totally combine chats so everybody can talk to one another.
Oh
yeah, it would make it much easier for gifting subs.
I'm pretty sure do they have an option for that? Yeah, we have a collaboration option. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey. There we go. Now we actually have people from both streams in here. Great. Awesome. Yes. Love that.
for those of you who are wondering why I give my friends subs, it's very simple. I just feel like it. That's about it. It's like I will always give my friends subs. You know what's crazy? It's like I'm not even like
shoot.
I'm not even subscribed to either of you personally. I've just gifted you subs.
Current Eye says hi, by the way.
So like I'm getting hit with ads back to back on you guys' stream.
Hey, it's helpful, man. It's helpful.
Exactly.
I just realized.
Take your 2 cents, all right, buddy. Take your 2 cents.
Exactly. You gotta make my living, you know.
I just realized that chat thing doesn't work in my browser, so I have to pull up another one. So I might be a minute.
I know it doesn't work for Opera yet, because that's what I use.
Yeah, I'm in whatever Edge, I guess it's called now. You know, Internet Explorer. Yeah.
Microsoft Edge.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, so Icy Storm, what is your hot take for the anime?
Oh, the first one
something
was
that you know will boil people.
The first one was Bleach is overrated, and
yeah.
the second one, oh my god, let me think, because I'm trying to think of one that's gonna have people out for blood.
Wasn't in the running, and Hazelight made.
I feel like one that will have people out for blood is what the most recent controversy between Feirin and
Frieren.
Oh yeah.
Frieren and what's it called? Solo leveling.
Oh, dude, no, that gets me on the right topic. I'll say it like this for everyone in the fucking anime community, because I've read the light novels for animes. ReZero is completely overrated.
Agreed. I love that show, but agreed.
Completely overrated. I've read all the way through the light novels of that stuff, and it is completely overrated. I had a guy that when I used to work at Domino's, I had a friend, he was like, bro, glazing this show. He used to come in with the light novels, glazing this show. And I'm like, dude, it's not that good.
That ReZero is definitely not the top anymore. I like the show, but it's compared to season 1 to season 2, I'm like, it's kind of like gone downhill.
And that's just how it is. That's just how I feel like that's always how it is at anime. It's like a lot of animes that add multiple seasons, the seasons kind of go downhill. But like when people brought up the topic of like, oh, Frieren versus solo leveling, it was like, dude, solo leveling. The reason why solo leveling was so much more praised than Frieren wasn't even because of what it was. It was because, think of it like this: solo leveling was the first ever manhwa to get an anime. The first ever manhwa to get an anime.
Yeah, I think we got it fixed now.
And the reason why that's so influential is because I'm a person that grew up with Webtoon, stuff like Tapas, all that stuff. I grew up with that stuff. So I grew up with stuff like Unordinary, Mage and the Demon Queen, stuff like that.
No, wait. Side note. I want to see Unordinary. I would love to see Unordinary animated. I want to see that would be a fire. That would be a fire animation if they managed to do Unordinary animated.
Dude, Unordinary walked so My Hero could run.
Facts.
Like, Unordinary is what My Hero should have been.
Facts.
It's like, dude, it's so good. Now, mind you, after Cosmic gives her anime hot take, I will propose the next topic that we can talk about, which is one that, it's not as controversial. However, it can be.
Mine, honestly,
The cosmic force is growing.
Hey,
Thanks.
thanks.
_vortex.
Yeah, I got you.
What was that? What was that? I was like, well, I heard something, and I'm like, huh?
That was my notification for a follow. I was able to mute it from Discord last time. I was quick enough. I was not quick enough this time. But I'd have to say my hot take would have to be that, and this goes for multiple animes. It goes for Pokemon and Naruto and Dragon Ball. They should have stopped it. Like, it's way too long. Like, I understand having extra details and going into characters' backstories and everything, but like at some point I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to watch it anymore. Like, just tell me the story, you know?
But also, along with that is like, another hot take is, I think Naruto should have ended with Naruto Shippuden. I don't think Boruto should have existed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
Really don't.
yeah,
They
that's
killed
good.
off
That's
the
a good
show.
one.
Killed it.
That's a good
Think
one.
about it
Mhm.
like this. Every character got such a perfect ending at the end of Shippuden. We did not need to go.
Exactly.
It was not necessary.
Exactly.
Naruto and Hinata got married. Sasuke and Sakura got
Mm-hmm.
married. All the other characters got married to each other after they grew up with each other. It was such a perfect ending. You didn't have to go through and see through the exact same thing, but with their kids. It's unnecessary.
Exactly.
And then and then people are like, well, Boruto finally got good. I'm like, dude, it took 200 plus episodes for a show to get good. I'm not watching.
Facts.
Not watching.
Mm-hmm.
If I have to sit through 200 plus episodes, I'm not watching. It was the same gripe that I had with One Piece, which is One Piece. I wouldn't say it's
Where my
big,
Discord
but it's just the same problem that everyone has with it. The pacing at the beginning is
There we
terrible.
go. Yes, really.
To get to all the good stuff that you want to see, it takes so long.
Exactly. Although I gotta say, there are,
crazy when it comes to anime because it's the whole topic of filler.
and that's what I was gonna say. There.
Which is,
Oh wait.
because people sit there and glaze stuff like
was
JJK
muted.
and stuff like that for not having any filler. But I'm like, you know why they don't have any filler? Because it's impossible to add filler to that type of show. A thing like One Piece, dude, I could go into detail about the smallest, minute character and make you fall in love with this character and then kill him off.
Okay, but One Piece is a different story, though. Like, come on. So here's the thing: a lot of people I know all of us here can probably agree on this in the sense that One Piece is such a unicorn because it's been going on for so long. It's got so many episodes that it's like, oh my gosh. I honestly think that you could start watching One Piece. You like One Piece is not like any other anime where you can start it at any point and understand the story. You really can't. One Piece is one of those shows where it's like you have to go back and watch specific arcs to understand what is happening. And I think One Piece, I'm not gonna lie to you, when One Piece is finally done, I would like for them to see, and hopefully they do, I would like for them to do essentially what they did with Dragon Ball, which was they had essentially they brought it down to size. They got rid of all the filler that did not pertain to the main story. And, they just pretty much say, okay, this is all the filler gone, and here is, like, the whole story of One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially what they did, like, what I'm thinking of is they do with One Piece with what they did with Dragon Ball, which is where they came out with Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Yeah. There are a few fillers that I actually like, though. Like, specifically in Naruto, the Gotta See, Gotta Know Kakashi Sensei's Real Face episode. I loved that. Do you guys remember that episode?
I do remember that episode.
Yeah. Like, I feel like once in a while it's nice to have a good comedic episode that, gives a break from all the high intense emotions from the anime, but not like whole arcs of it.
And then another thing is this. I like to say this. For those of you out there who are watching, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, or whatever it may be, hit the follow, subscribe, do it all. We would greatly appreciate it. This type of content would not be possible without you
Completely forgot
guys.
to mention that. Yeah, completely forgot to mention that.
No.
But this is also going on YouTube, on my gaming YouTube channel. So everybody in the chat, if you're here, say hi to YouTube.
Yeah, also, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter right now, in case, anybody's wondering.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, bro. Umbra. I almost said your real name. Umbra. You have to get on the train of streaming on TikTok. My God, the viewership on there is through the roof.
Right?
Look, I would
Yes.
I would stream on TikTok if I knew how to do it.
So I can show you guys after this, but it's very easy. It's very easy and very simple because it connects directly to. If you use OBS, it connects directly to OBS.
Yeah, I use OBS. So.
But it's easy because the reason why it's prints views is because people don't have to search you. As long as their For You page is similar to the game that you're streaming, you're going to pop up.
Huh.
And they don't have to click on anything. They can just sit there on it while they're scrolling. They can just sit there on your screen. And it just prints viewership. It just prints it like it ain't nothing. And it's because I'll say it like this. I could have like 10 viewers on Twitch, but I'll have like 150 on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there are some days where I'll only stream on TikTok because it's like TikTok. Everyone and their mom has TikTok on their phone.
That's true.
Everyone and their mom has TikTok on their phone.
I keep meaning to set that up.
I just have an oldish phone, and I need to upgrade to an iPhone or something new. I don't know. I need to get a new phone. But people realize that it's like TikTok is easily like the way to go when it comes to streaming.
So another question. Now that we're kind of like playing into this, but actually, let's finish up the last question, the previous question before, because we've yet to hear Cosmic's hot take for anime.
I know my hot take was
about them some of them being way too long. But I do have another one. It's not really a hot take per se, but I guess it could be. I'm just curious of your all's views on it. Beach episodes, mandatory or no?
No. I'm kind of tired of the beach episodes.
Are you talking about fan service? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
No, like, it doesn't matter what type of anime it is, they have to have a beach episode, it seems like, whether it pertains to the story or not.
I feel like most of the time it's just comedic relief for the character.
Very true.
I personally don't like it just simply because, and this is my genre on it, and this leads into my next take. Not Gooner bait, but I hate how they portray women in anime to basically all be the same. They fall under three. They fall under the category of women.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain it right here and now. The first one is a tsundere. What I mean by a tsundere is it is the standard type of the girl from the very beginning likes the main character, but does not say shit until episode 12 or the final episode.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And the main character is too fucking dumb to realize that he likes her or she likes him. I'm like, dude, it's so fucking obvious. I'm like, why do we have to go through this?
Man, I feel like that's just my life.
Facts.
I'm like,
honestly.
Why do we have to go through this? I'm like, why can't they just be open and be like, why can't the girl just be open and be like, hey, I like you? Or the guy just be like, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, she likes me. Or like, the girl's friends would be like, oh, you like him?
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to tell the guy. We're going to help you try and tell the guy, but you're not going to tell the guy because you get too scared. And it's like, dude, if that was me and Umbra liked a girl, I'd walk straight up to that girl. Hey, look, my homie got a crush on you. Can you give him his? Can you give him your number so that we can just move on with this?
Let's not pull me into that because there was a situation that happened earlier this year with me at a convention and a girl was hitting on me and I didn't pick up on it. So I'd rather not have to think about that moment again, please.
And then it's like
and
the
worst part about it was my friend was telling me, it's like, dude, she's hitting on you. Go talk to her. And I was like, I regret every moment now.
The second type of women are overly sexualized women. I hate overly sexualized women when they always wear revealing clothing. They're it's basically fan service. I hate it. I've started to dislike fan service when it comes to it. Because it gets in most of the time the fan service gets in the way of serious moments.
Very true.
It kind of throws off the anime. Like, don't get me wrong, some animes it works, but not all animes need it.
Well, exactly.
The problem is for those animes that make it work, it's because the setting is already established that this is gonna be like a common occurrence that you're gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, I'll say it like this: can we, for the love of God, stop making isekai animes? Just leave it. Leave it alone.
I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good with that.
For the love of God, leave it alone. Let it die. Let it jump off a bridge and burn. Because that is the most oversaturated genre I've ever seen in anime.
No, you know what also sucks too is one thing that I noticed is when Solo Leveling got its anime when it was announced, I was like, that's cool. But I know for a fact there's a ton of other stories on the website that Solo Leveling was on that were 3 times as better as Solo Leveling.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, but the thing, yes and no, because number one, Solo Leveling was Solo Leveling was basically the One Piece of that site. It was outselling everything. It wasn't even close. However, the reason why I think it was a good choice of choosing Solo Leveling over those other shows is because Solo Leveling is easier to grasp. When you think of the webtoons, the light novels that we read on those apps, most of them are very, if you're not used to reading this, you're not gonna dive into it. I can list off webtoon after webtoon that should get animated. But the reason why they're not going to get animated is because your average person's not going to be able to grasp it. Solo Leveling invented the concept of these dungeon portals open, hunters are born. Yeah. It invented that whole establishment. And so bringing that whole genre in there, it's like, yes, there are a finite amount of stories that followed after that genre and made it 10 times better. But you want to have the originator first, just to see how good of people are going to pick up this genre. And people love Solo Leveling. That's why I think they're going to make more manga based animes, because let's be for real, we all want it.
Mm-hmm.
We all want it.
Yeah, we all do want it. But yeah, I lost my train of thought there for a second. I was gonna mention something else, but
I remember the last part of the female genre that I wanted to talk about. The last type of female that I hate is, for the love of God, if there is a female main character, please stop making it a romance. For the love of God, can we get more badass female main characters in anime? I cannot list off the amount of main characters that I've seen that are female that is just, I got reincarnated as a villainess, I fell in love with this backwater prince, or I got reincarnated into this world and I fell in love with the prince, or I fell in love with the villain. I was like, dude, look, homie, I get it. We love a romance story. But when I have to watch all 12 to 24 episodes for them to finally get together.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I no longer want to watch it, because I'm getting to the point to where I'm like, can we just make them, even if they don't have to get together the first episode, but don't wait until it's like the last 2 minutes of the final episode for them to be like, I love you. And for them to finally, it's to the point to where it's like, we can do this way faster, because you could make the show infinitely better, because then you can show their progress of becoming a couple or becoming together, being together. You can show that process afterwards. It's like, But when you wait until the last minute to go, okay, now they actually say I love you.
So we
It was
actually have a question in chat right now.
Yes,
This is
I was
actually a
gonna
really
mention
good
that.
question. Corinna asks, do we think so? We can each individually answer this question. Do we think Naruto would have become Hokage if Jiraiya had survived longer?
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
let's start off with you, Cosmic. What do you think?
Well, I was gonna say not to spoil it, but he does become Hokage. I mean, it's in Shippuden, but he does eventually achieve that dream. Do I think he would have gotten there sooner if Jiraiya had survived longer?
I think the question
Possibly.
is, do you think he would have become Hokage in general? If
Oh, well, of
Jiraiya had
course, because I
survived?
mean that was always his dream, even from episode
Yeah,
1. So,
that's exactly what I was going to say too.
yeah.
Is Naruto had
She's on
always
update mode.
that Naruto is literally from like day one. Naruto was like, "You'll see, I'll become Hokage and I'll prove you all wrong."
Exactly.
That was his number one goal from the get go. So, do I think I share the same agreements with you, which is if Jiraiya had survived longer, I think Naruto maybe would have become Hokage, sooner if Jiraiya was around. But at the same time, I think if Jiraiya wasn't there, I think a better question is like if Jiraiya wasn't there, would Naruto be who he is today? And that I can 100% say no, he would
Yeah,
not.
absolutely not. I mean, he was like the father figure.
Yeah, I don't think without Jiraiya, Naruto would not be who he is today. Naruto would 100% be a villain if Jiraiya was not there.
Now to
No, that's
keep
Iruka. He would be a villain without Iruka Sensei. Because Iruka's the one that helped him that night when he was like down at his lowest.
But then also, I'll say it like this
Right.
to keep my answer different from theirs. Think about how the story would have played out different. The pain
True.
arc, if Jiraiya didn't die to pain in that moment, Naruto would not have did as much as he did. And I don't think he would have gotten recognized as much as he did. Because that was the turning point for Naruto. Because up until that point, he did everything he needed. He did everything for the village, and yet the village didn't acknowledge him. It was until the pain fight that everyone was like, "Oh shit, Naruto is him for real." And we need Naruto because we can't do this. Like they realize, oh, this village is getting destroyed, and we need someone powerful to become Hokage. Someone strong, someone that's leading. And then it didn't help that even during and then he took the major lead during the 4th grade Ninja War.
Mm-hmm.
He took the lead. It was like, if it wasn't for Naruto, we wouldn't have the anime. And so it's like, if Jiraiya lasted longer than the pain arc, he still would have become Hokage. But it's like, we would have gotten a completely different, like Naruto would not have gone down the route he did then. It's like, it would have been, I think the pace would have been slower.
Yeah.
If Jiraiya didn't die. I felt like the pace would have been much slower. Because Jiraiya dying sent Naruto and the rest of them into like we have to get stronger.
Yeah, that's very true.
Type of mode.
Yeah. Like, it's kind of similar to how the Saiyan saga for Goku was when Raditz first came to Earth. Essentially, what Raditz was for Goku is essentially what Jiraiya was for Naruto, where where Vegeta and Nappa were coming to Earth, but they only had a select amount of time to prepare. So the same thing happened with Naruto and everybody who was with Naruto at the time of Jiraiya's death. You know, without that specific key factor, can we, we as anime fans or just anime watchers and enjoyers in general, can we honestly say that the story would play out the same way that we see it now? I don't think it would have. So So I definitely think that in terms of Naruto's case though, if Jiraiya had been around longer, I think Naruto maybe would have taken longer to become Hokage. Not in the sense of, you know, he it's not his dream, but in the sense of maybe at some point in his life as he's growing up, he probably would talk to Jiraiya and ask him if Jiraiya thinks he's ready to be Hokage. You know, kind of like how how you go to like your parent or your friend, or you ask him, it's like, hey, do you think I'm ready to do this? You know, so it's like we mentioned before, Jiraiya is like that father figure for him. So I think if Jiraiya was around, yeah, I think it would take him a little bit longer to become Hokage, but in the end, he would still get there.
Mm.
And we have another question from chat, which reads: if Itachi had never left the village, do you think the Uchiha tragedy could have been avoided? And to that, I say, well, think about it like this.
If it didn't
If the Uchiha massacre never happened, Sasuke would never have left and gone on the journey that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, there is nobody that Sasuke hated more than Naruto than Itachi.
Yep.
Sasuke hated Itachi until he fought him and realized, oh shit, Itachi killed all of them in order to save Sasuke.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to shoulder that burden. Sasuke didn't know that. And so it was like, if the Uchiha massacre did it.
Oh, am I on mute? Am I on mute?
Are you?
I mean,
I mean,
I'm lighting up in Streamlabs. My mic's on.
No, I can hear you in stream.
Yeah, I can hear you in stream too, so you're fine.
Okay.
Your update's done now. Say something.
Hello, hello out there.
I can hear you on
I
stream.
can hear you
I'm
just
like,
fine, yeah.
Maybe you gotta refresh your stream.
Maybe.
Hello.
But, I think definitely that's true. Without the tragedy of the Uchiha and essentially Itachi leaving, I don't think we wouldn't have the dynamic that we have between Naruto and Sasuke. You know, both characters are legendary to their right, but Sasuke had a different dream in comparison to Naruto.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And in order for him, it kind of goes back to what we were saying a lot earlier, where the writing really comes into play here, and that's really like, in order for characters to grow, especially characters like Naruto and Sasuke, you need to have like very good impact in a sense that,
what drives their motive.
Yeah, drives a motive essentially. So for Naruto,
what pushed them to make those decisions.
Exactly. The reason why I say Naruto without Jiraiya, if Jiraiya had never been a part of Naruto's life, an example is Naruto had every reason to be a villain. He has every reason to be a villain if Jiraiya was never there.
But I wouldn't even say it was Jiraiya that was there from the beginning. It was, what's his name?
It was Iruka Sensei, yeah.
Iruka Sensei.
I kid you not, if Iruka Sensei was not there, Naruto probably would have become, but it was always in Naruto's nature to become.
Exactly.
That's like, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day,
the reason why I say that Naruto had every reason to become a villain is because look at how everybody treated him when he was younger. Everybody treated him like he was a monster because he had the Nine-Tails beast sealed inside of him. So everybody treated him with, distance and discontent and just complete and utter disgust.
Except Iruka.
But then another reason why he didn't become a villain was because when you think of it, it's like this. His whole goal was to prove them wrong, and that's why he set his sights on becoming Hokage.
Exactly. And he knew what it felt like.
If I become a Hokage, then everyone will accept me. everyone
Yeah.
will realize, hey, I'm not the, because his whole thing was stop looking at me like I'm a monster. I'm not the Ninetales. I had
Yeah,
no power
and
over the Ninetales
that
being
plays
inside.
into that plays into exactly what I was going to say, which is it goes down to the writing. It's what is the motivator going to be for these characters to then develop later on to then become the lovable characters that we know today. And
Mm-hmm.
that was Naruto's really, which was the fact that nobody liked him. Everybody had shared with him in disgust. People didn't like him. So the same thing is said for Sasuke. You know, without Itachi doing what he did, Sasuke would not become who he is today. He would not become the character that many people love him today. Both characters had different goals, but at the very end of the show, at the very end of Shippuden, guess what? Both of them achieved their goals at the very end,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the beauty of the writing.
Dude,
Reading chat.
Sorry, but
What if
part is
Karama had
hilarious.
his own YouTube channel? Would it be Rage compilation?
That's just hilarious. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be Rage compilations, but he'd be like, someone would be like, why the hell are humans just like this?
Exactly.
Like, it'd be so funny. I can just imagine him just like going on, all right, today chat, we're reacting to this video. 12
He'd just be
hours
so
of rage
he'd be so
conflict.
dead inside. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I got a question for you
that's-
guys.
Funny.
Yeah, go ahead,
Oh
shoot.
lord. All right,
Okay.
my bank account information is 762. All right.
Oh, okay. I
Wow,
mean, that
wow,
wasn't the
wow,
question.
wow,
I'll take
wow,
it.
wow. Let me get a pen and paper. Hold on.
So this spans over over cartoon, anime, games, any sort of media format. What is the number one?
Oh,
What is the number one villain you love to hate? Like, who's your favorite all-time villain and why? Because we've been talking about all these
Dr.
main
Doofenshmirtz.
character good guys.
All-time
Dr.
villain to love.
Doof, nice.
All-time villain to it's like you mean like love as in I love it privately, but hate it because everybody else hates it.
Like you love to hate, like you love them, but they're a villain, so you're not supposed to.
Okay.
Might as well be
That's a good
Dr.
question.
Doofenshmirtz.
That's a good
Can you
question.
imagine working for that guy? Like, you come to work every day to watch your boss create some life-changing innators.
I think it'd be
By
fun.
the end of your shift, he's getting beat up by like a 2-foot platypus. Like, it'd be the greatest job in the world.
That'd be my live stream at the end of the day every day. Just, oh, look at this awesome
100%.
fight.
I'd get views off that. Like, it'd be the greatest thing ever. I'd willingly show up early to work that day.
Right?
Think about it. All the innators he does not use.
He said I would willingly show up early to work.
Just think about it. It's like all the innators he doesn't use just get put in storage.
Right?
It's like, imagine if he was just like, oh, you can just use any of them that I don't use. Like, oh yeah, let me use the teleportation innator.
Mm-hmm.
Or the superpower innator. Like
And you
all
could-
this crazy.
You could easily convince him to make an innator for something you want, too.
Exactly. It's like, dude, but Dr. Dismers is not inherently bad.
Exactly.
It's like the way he was raised was just like, and Dr. Dismers is the prime example of if he had loving parents, he would have probably been like the greatest superhero of all.
Very
He could
true.
have easily had a superhero origin story if that man had loving parents. Like, he
Very
reminds me
true.
of if Megamind was just raised a little bit better.
Okay, I have a character. I have a character that comes to mind where I love the character, but unfortunately I hate him because he technically is the villain, and it's probably from a show that you guys haven't seen. I don't know if you have, but
Try me.
I don't know. Have you guys seen High School of the Elite?
Yes.
Yes, a long time ago.
Okay, so there's a character in there that goes by the name of he's essentially the main character of the show.
Are you talking about what's his name? I know what you're talking about. I forget what his name is. 'Cause I literally like You talking about Classroom of the Elite?
Classroom of the Elite?
Yes.
That,
Classroom
okay,
of the
yeah,
Elite.
I
said
love
High
that
School of
one.
the Elite. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was like, it
Class-
sounds
Classroom of the
familiar.
Elite.
oh, you talking about
Classroom
Ayana
of the Elite.
Koji? Talking about
Yeah,
Ayana
that's his name, Ayana Koji.
He's
So
he's not a
technically, he's
villain. I
well,
wouldn't.
I don't know. I would
In
consider him a
technical standpoint,
True.
he can be
Yeah,
seen as one.
he can
but
be seen
not
as one.
Really.
True, I
But the reason
guess.
why I say it's like I love and hate him is because a lot of people see him as very like distasteful because of his character.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I like his character so much is because when he talks, it's like when he speaks factually, and he
Mhm.
doesn't care. He doesn't care if it hurts your feelings because that's just the truth.
Uh-huh.
Like there's a scene in the show where he's talking about equality, for example, and it's funny that the anime covers this and we talk about equality all the time, like in real life. So it's like, but he goes on to say that people are not equal. It doesn't matter what you think. People are not equal. We're never going to be equal. The only time we're ever equal is when we're born, because we can't do anything when we're born. We can't do anything when we're babies. That's all. We can't do anything for ourselves. So
Very true.
as we grow up, things change. People become this. People go to school. People get education. But essentially, he goes on to say that's like equality in and of itself is literally a fantasy, and like most people go about their day thinking that we don't live in a meritocracy. And I'm just like, brother, that's some cold hard facts. But I was like, that's brutal, but it's kind of true.
Yeah.
It's like it's really true. Like life literally is that. And I was like, the fact that he's covering this, but everybody in the show sees him as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, he's not exactly a morally right character either, because he takes advantage of characters in the show too, and in the light novel and in the manga. So don't think that he definitely, in my eyes, he's one of those characters. Like, yeah, he's a villain, but I can't help but stress the fact that there are more times when he speaks, it's like, yes, what he's saying is absolutely true, and what you may not like what he's saying, but you cannot deny the fact that what he's saying is the truth.
Exactly.
All right, so another question from chat is, do you think Sasuke secretly spends more time fixing his hair than fighting? Absolutely.
Ever since he became an adult, I don't think he really cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, after he became an adult, no. But, like, I guarantee you, like, Sasuke thought he was aura farming in Shippuden.
I mean, he still does, except just not in Boruto. Him and
True.
Naruto do not aura farm like they used to in Boruto.
Nah.
Very
I
true.
don't count you. They used to aura farm. But, I do have one thing to say, and I need everyone, including people in chat, to answer this. Who is your anime waifu?
Mia the Lamia.
Oh.
Wait, you said well, yeah, Mia the Lamia. I can't say any character from Hello Boss because Hello Boss is not anime. It's cartoon.
Like, it could be guy, girl, but who is your anime, like, they can
Mia
have
the
a
Lamia.
way with you
Mia
type
the
of
Lamia.
person.
Mia the Lamia is definitely mine.
Kyo from Fruits Basket.
That's 100%.
That's a good one.
That is, shit, goddamn, that's not a fish. I'm just
So
saying,
then what's yours?
if I was gay, man. Just saying.
Man, he said if I was gay. I don't know, man.
Just saying. Like,
With you, it's like depending on the day, right?
hey, depending on the day, man. I could wake up and be like, damn. But with me,
Or Zuko from Avatar.
That's a fire. No pun intended, but that's fire. That's
Yes.
a fire choice too.
Yes, Zuko from Avatar. I change it. That's
I
my
ain't gonna
answer.
lie, Zuko's
if I
one of
pick
those
somebody
ones
from
where I'm just
Avatar,
like,
it's
yeah.
gotta be Toph. I was in love with Toph.
Do you
If I pick
know?
someone Avatar-
Did you know that the Airbender in the beginning is actually her original design? Like in the intro?
Really?
Yes, they originally wanted her to be a big buff dude, but then they were like, you know what? It would be hilarious if she was a like little blind girl, and they went with it.
Because it fits but it fits earthbending so well that she's
Uh-huh.
fits it so well. Because it changes how she taught Aang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, what's
And it was like, but my anime
yours,
wife. Ooh. See, this was one that like I loved, but it's Erina from Food Wars.
Oh yes.
I don't think I know that.
She's a
I've
little
never
prissy,
seen
but
Food
yeah.
Wars.
Yes, prissy, but I love her because Food Wars is the reason why I love cooking.
I do love.
Okay.
You know, if you get the manga, it has the recipes on how to make the stuff in it.
No,
What, really?
Yes.
I need it.
I've never seen
Yeah.
Food Wars, but the fact that you tell me that the manga actually has the recipes,
Yes.
I'm about to get all of it now.
Yes. If you don't like fan service, you won't like the manga or the anime, but
Yeah.
all the food
I mean,
gasms.
it's not that heavy though. It's not as heavy as it could be.
No, it's not like Game of Thrones or something, you know.
No.
Mm,
But
okay.
at the same time, I love Food Wars. Food Wars is because Food Wars is like what a new gen shonen anime does right. Because
Yes.
it's not like, oh, this person goes on a wild journey. It's just like this guy goes from cooking in a family restaurant to learning how to take, because he takes basic everyday meals that
Mhm.
your mom would probably make you and turns them into
Gourmet style
five-star
food.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but still keeps their simplicity factor. He doesn't like,
Freaking
oh, I gotta use high quality.
Gordon Ramsay style. Where's the lamb sauce?
It's like he doesn't use high quality ingredients. He still uses the basic stuff that we can get from Kroger.
Yes.
And it's like, but he turns it and makes it into such amazing high quality stuff that it's just like, it was such a fun show to watch. It really was.
I've actually used.
I think that's why that show is so cool too. Is the fact that because of that, it shows the audience. It's like, look, you can do this at home.
Exactly. Like, I've actually used his honey tenderizing technique for meats. It's really good.
Yes. I love Soma. He's such a cool guy. But Erina, I fell in love with her. Like, it was her, and then it was, so most of you, including you, the guys in chat, might not know this anime, but it is my favorite anime before I got introduced to Demon Slayer. And it is Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
I've never heard of that one.
People have no idea what it is, but there is a girl in that show. Her name is Stella Vermilion, and she was like my wife. Like, I would trade my soul to be with her.
Are you talking about the girl from Vermeil and Gold?
Not Vermel. We're not talking about Vermel. That is a can of worms of another day.
Oh. Ah, I see.
Oh, by the way, speaking of obscure anime, for anybody that loves Naruto, I suggest you checking out an anime called Nabari no It is like, it's like Naruto, but more modern day. I'll put it in the chat in case anybody wants to know how to spell it. But it's really good.
You're talking about Nabari no
Yes.
Yeah, Nabari no.
It's really good.
Yes.
Okay, so another question. If you all were to describe yourself as closely as you could with one anime character, who would that character be?
So like we have to pick an anime character that describes us.
Yeah, like basically if you were an anime character, that would be like you incarnate, whoever that choice is.
Vegeta. Vegeta, 100% Vegeta.
Always lacking behind.
Because that's the thing. Because that's the thing. Because Vegeta's character. Obviously, anybody here watching or on YouTube knows that Vegeta's story is one of essentially following in the shadow of Goku, because he knows that Goku is stronger than him.
Mm-hmm.
But never once for a moment, and it's similar to Goku too, but never once for a moment did Vegeta ever look at his shortcomings and say, I can't do something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta never
I mean,
looked
but, I
at...
mean, I ain't gonna say that because when it was fighting Broly, yeah.
Yeah, but guess what? But guess what? He still fought Broly, even though he was getting, his shit rocked. He still got in the ring with Broly, mainly because he's a Saiyan and the Saiyans love to fight. But the biggest thing with Vegeta is the fact that Vegeta looks at himself and he says, "What can I do better right now? What can I do better?" in this moment, and he does that every single day. And the reason why, it's one of the reasons why Vegeta, he never addresses himself as king of the Saiyans. He always refers to himself as prince of the Saiyans. And the reason why he does that is because reason why he does that, and a lot of people don't know this, is he always refers to himself as the prince of all Saiyans, because it gives him something to aspire to continue to work towards. If he knew that he probably knows it's he's one of the strongest people out there, but he doesn't know for a fact. It's I know I am the strongest person out there, and he knows that that's not true. And the same thing goes for Goku. Goku knows that that's not true either. That's why they continue to improve every single day. That's why when I love Dragon Ball so much is I can relate to that. It's man, what can I do now? Or what can I do today that will help me improve tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Vegeta's always been that character of don't quit, don't back down, because quitting is worse than you just giving up. Because at least if you giving up is worse than you not trying at all.
Exactly.
Because if you don't try it, then how do you know it's not for you? And Vegeta has always been that example. It's never, not trying is worse than failing. At least Vegeta owns his failure. He knows when he goes wrong, but he owns it. He'll do something and he'll fail at it, but guess what? He'll try again. And that's why I relate. And I think that if I was to relate to a character so much, it'd very much be Vegeta. Because it's just Vegeta's also someone who doesn't care about what other people think about him either. He does what he wants. If you don't like that, then you better get out the way.
Very good choice.
Yeah. What about you, Cosmic, huh?
I'm trying to decide between Anzu from Romantic Killer, which is one on Netflix, or Hori from Horimiya, which is really, really good. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love Hori. I love Hori. Oh my god.
Yeah, I relate to both of those characters very, very much. I'm oh, that's actually me. It's not a, I'm yeah, I could see myself doing pretty much anything that they're doing. And their views are very similar, and I get good vibes from them.
Yeah. That's a solid choice. What about you, Storm?
Yeah.
You relate to them?
If I had to pick anyone, I'd probably have to go with Natsu from Fairy Tail.
I knew it was gonna be Fairy Tail.
The reason why I say that is because my whole view on life has always been the same, which is, and a lot of people I got people adults that get mad at me. I got friends that I used to have that get mad at me. Teachers used to get mad at me. But my whole view on life was I just stopped caring. I just went through life just trying to have fun. I didn't really care, even because they were because everyone's always told me, well, you got to get serious when you become an adult. You got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm I don't care. I'm just gonna go through life and have fun. I don't care what life has in store for me. Life, my whole thought process was life could do whatever it wants to me, and I'm just gonna walk through it. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. As long as I got my friends next to me, my family next to me, it's I can just walk through anything in life with my head held high. It's nothing could stop me.
Yeah, nothing.
It's anyone can tell me, oh, you're not gonna be this. But now I'm on the track to becoming a full-time content. because all of my teachers in middle school would always tell me, "You're not going to be a professional gamer. You're not going to be this because only a certain amount of people make it through this. You're not going to do this. You have to have a backup plan." I'm like, I'm going to push through to do this.
Yeah.
I was a pro player for a little bit for both Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, and Fortnite, which a lot of people don't know. That's another thing. Yes. And then another thing is that's just how I see myself is you have like I'm not everyone around me always says I'm a great leader. I don't see myself as a great leader. I don't try and lead, but I do lead if it's necessary. If it's like we need someone to take the brunt of a fall, I will gladly take the brunt of a fall to keep everyone else from having to take that. Like, say like if we were out and like, oh, we got in trouble and this and this, I'll be like, look, it's my idea. This happened.
You're the mom of the group.
Everyone, like, I should have taken responsibility. This is my fault. Like, I'm always like, this is, I will shoulder the burden to help everyone.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's another reason, like, why one of my friends is like, you remind me a lot of Itachi, not the cool side of Itachi, but mainly if I have to shoulder the burden of the world, if I have to have everyone hate me because of something I did, but I did it in order to protect them, then I would rather have the entire world hate me because I did something good than do something bad and everyone love me.
Yeah, that's a good option too. So I got another really question. This is open really more for chat really. So let's get involved with chat here. But everybody here, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, if you don't have an answer right now. But this is really something for you guys to just think about. But throughout, and this is for you guys too. But throughout your personal life and your online life, who do you all believe has been the most influential person in your lives aside from these fictional characters that we've come to know and have also inspired us in ways that have really made us go beyond what we thought we were even capable of?
Wait, what was the question? What was the question?
So the question is, who do you think is the most influential person essentially in your life? Now this could be anybody. Aside from like anime characters, because we pretty much have gotten over the whole fact that we have many anime characters that we love to death because they inspire us to do great things just like they do in the show. They inspire us to do the impossible. But who in all of our day-to-day lives and all of our daily lives, who is that one person for each one of us that truly inspires us to push on and to continue forward with whatever dreams or whatever aspirations each one of us individually have?
I can go first on this one because I like a lot of people, like anyone that knows me in my personal life, besides like you, Abner, because I met you recently, but anyone that I grew up with.
Hold on, very quickly before you answer that question, Corinna has to go, unfortunately. They have to go to work, so we would like to say thank you for coming, Corinna, to the podcast. Thank you for turning up. It was a pleasure having you. We hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, morning, night, whichever one you're having. We hope to see you again soon on the next podcast. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes.
And who knows? Hopefully, we'll get you on it. Who knows? Maybe you'll be a co-star.
I really love your show. Yay!
Oh, we're really happy. I'm happy that you guys are enjoying it. Honestly.
Yeah, it's so much
fun.
Also, for those of you who follow Umbra, be looking out for a vlog next week because me and him are going to a convention. So
Ooh,
be
fun.
looking out for a vlog.
Yeah, that is gonna be a fun time. I also have merchandise too. I have my own merch store, so if you guys are interested in any of that kind of stuff, I don't have anything currently right now because I'm working on stuff for like my Twitch theme stuff. So I don't have anything for my Twitch stuff yet, but eventually I plan to bring that out soon. So just be on the lookout for that on the website. So, yeah. So go ahead, Storm. What were you gonna say in terms of inspiration for you outside of
So,
really like the anime stuff?
so outside of like any anime stuff, it's like there was one person that everyone who's grown up with me or known me throughout my life has known that there is only one person in the world that I truly desire to earn their respect over anything else. This is the one person that like, anytime I ever disappointed them, it was like the lowest point in my life. Where like I was like thinking like, damn, I had nothing else going for me. Like, what am I doing? Like, and that person, I know this may sound generic, but that person is my mom. And the reason why I say that is because my mom is an amazing person. She's a social worker making almost 7 figures. It's like she works her ass off. She's also a full-time baker. She has her own baking stuff that she does. And like everyone, like you can ask anyone throughout the entirety of like Ohio, almost like everyone who has ordered any type of baking stuff from Cincinnati knows of my mom. Like that's how influential she is. And I've always tried to look up to her image because throughout everything that I've done, even if I've made a bad choice, she was just there. She was always just ready to help me out through everything. She was ready to shoulder any burden that I had. No matter what it was, she was always, don't worry about this. I got this. Just do what you want to do. Now, sometimes she was like, hey, I don't think this is the right decision. That's why I always tell anyone, whether they be my significant other or not, like anytime I have a significant other and I'm like, hey, I really like this person, I tell them that you have to get my mom's approval because I always trust my mother's judgment over anything.
Fair enough.
And my mom's a very nice person. She's not a strict person. She's a very kind person. But I always tell people don't take her kindness for granted because at heart she's a very soft-hearted person. She doesn't like raising her voice a lot. I've seen her in her happiest moments, and I've seen her when she's come home and looked at me and was like, "Hey," there was a time where she came in my room and she was like, "Hey, she was like, look, because me and my older sister, have birthdays about 2 weeks apart." And it was my sister's 16th birthday at the time. And so my mom walked in my room and she was like, hey, look, we don't have the money to get you anything for your birthday because you were trying to get your sister like the best sweet 16 birthday ever. And I told my mom, I was like, look, it's fine. I was like, Mom, at the time, I think I was like 12. And so I told my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, I have some leftover money from like mowing lawns and stuff like that. Could you take me to Kroger's and we just bake a cake together? And she was like, sure. And I was like, she was like, and I told her, I was like, because and I've told everyone this, I had grown up with forsaking my birthday to make other people happy. Because unlike what most people think, my birthday's on Halloween.
Ooh, fun.
And so growing up, I've grown up around a lot of siblings, cousins, and I've never once celebrated my birthday on Halloween because I've always given it up so that the kids can go trick-or-treating and not focus on me that day. So that they can go trick-or-treating, they can have fun. And so that's why I don't bring it up that often that my birthday's on Halloween. I say it to people, but I'm like, I don't really celebrate it on Halloween because I'm so used to just not celebrating on Halloween because I'm not the type of person that wants the limelight. I don't want the spotlight. I don't like it. I would much rather put other people up on the podium and just be the guy in the back. So at the end of the day, I love my mom. She's an amazing person. I look up to her throughout everything. And realistically, without her, I genuinely, I wouldn't know any of you. I probably wouldn't have gone into content creation. I'd probably be like a deadbeat somewhere if it wasn't for her.
Dang.
Yeah. And I don't think that answer is basic. You know, parents are just that. You know, for many parents are just that that avenue for really inspiration. You know, especially when they genuinely believe that you can really make it. You know.
Yeah.
So I think for me, definitely it's definitely my dad. In my sense, I definitely think the most inspirational person for me has to be my dad. Um, you know, a little backstory for my father is my dad was he's retired. He's retired Army, over 30 plus years in the service, and the fact that the fact that my dad not only went off to war twice but came back both times was a blessing in and of itself, because I knew a lot of friends who had parents who also went off to war, and unfortunately they didn't come back. So but my dad has always he's always strived for me to try things and to do things that I otherwise wouldn't. Well, I say I wouldn't enjoy, but then at the very end, it's like boom, it's it's something that I do enjoy. So my dad's always really been that inspiration for me outside. He's kind of like Vegeta in a sense, if I was to relate him to a character. So I think that's why and it's like what you said, Tim. For me, it's like whenever I do something and I disappoint, I'm like, man, I disappointed him. I feel bad now.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
It hits. There's another level of it that where it hits different.
I feel like it hits different because they're just when you spend, and like most people, it's not their parents. Some people, it's their significant other. It's like where you get the feeling of that's the one person you don't want to disappoint, because you feel like if you do disappoint that person, it's like you feel like no one else in the world will have your back at the end like that person. Because that's what I tell people is that's what I look in a person as that's why my friends are not friends, they're family. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have a single friend, I have family.
Very
if I got to know you and I got to talk to you, you are now family. Whether you be my brother, you be my sister, cousin, whatever it may be, you are now family. Hell, you can even be like my third mom, because I have plenty of moms. I have Shadow, I have my actual mom, I have my stepmom, I have my friend Ghost. It's like I have plenty of moms, so you can be added to the roster of mandatory mother or father, as long as you don't leave for milk.
Yeah. So, what about you, Cosmic?
I feel like mine's changed over the years. Like,
Oh, really?
growing up, I feel like it's been more or less like my older brother and then some of my close friends at school. And then once I got to like high school, it was still some of those close friends, but like adult-wise, probably my dad. He started a little bit at that point. And then actually here's a fun one. You guys might appreciate. When I went to a con a long time ago, when I actually met that voice actor for Kowdu that I told you about earlier that I was like shaking, his brother voice acted as well. And his brother was the voice of Frieza. And by the end of that con, his brother's name was Chris Ayres. And that was the voice actor of Frieza. And he actually directed and did some stuff like that. But by the end of that con, he had actually asked for my picture, had friended me on Facebook. And since then, we had talked quite a bit. And he was always very supportive of, like, my dream to own an animation studio. And I've written a couple of light novels of the OCs that I hope to feature one day and things like that. And he was doing some directing and stuff at the time, and he offered to even like read the light novel and give feedback, and you know, he was very, very helpful, and it was nice to kind of have someone outside the family that was very, and I mean, like, a lot of my friends I consider family. So it was nice to have somebody like outside of like that zone that knows me on daily life, to be very supportive of that dream. And then he actually ended up passing away, which I'm sure if you all, you know, watch Dragon Ball and stuff, you probably heard about that years ago.
Yeah.
But since then, it's probably mostly been my dad, because he actually offered to let me move to Utah with him. I decided not to because most of my life was already here on the East Coast, but he had offered that, and then I could have taken college classes there to continue my education for animation, because I had to move shortly after doing enough for a certificate for it. But since I found an online school that's actually taught by animators in the industry, he has been helping me make sure that, you know, I'm doing my projects on that on time, making sure that giving me any extra feedback, helping me pay for the classes, even though part of that is paying me back for money he already owes me. But still, you know, it's still there. He's very involved with it, which is really, really nice.
You know, that's a very.
These are all great answers. All solid answers.
I'm starting to realize that we've grown up with pretty great parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say the same for
We all
kids
have very
nowadays,
good.
but you know,
Yeah.
at least we have great parents.
I mean, we turned out okay, you know. We still got some screws loose, but we turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
Some is an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful over here. I don't know where they go, but
Me, I'm like, nah, I got all the screws gone. Pretty much at this point, the only thing keeping my brain together is grit, spit, and a whole lot of duct tape.
How about some help by duct tape and players?
So yeah, but yeah, honestly, I think if nobody else has anything else to really talk about, we could definitely end stream here. I think we're on the almost like the 3.5 hour mark.
yeah.
So if nobody else has anything really else to talk about, nothing that comes to the top of mind, or really just anything you want to get off your chest at the current moment, we can go ahead and pretty much end stream here if that is the decision, if that is the convened decision that everybody wishes to do.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's a great. I'm gonna say I think it's a great. This is a great ending. I think us trying to keep it to like the 3.5 hour mark is definitely great.
Yeah.
It'll be good for editing as well. So,
I mean, podcast. I try not to edit too much, simply because it's like you want to hear everything that's going on. It's gonna be hard to cut it because it's like conversations lead into other conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's not something that you want to go around editing. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna polish it. It's like, I'm not just gonna upload it straight to YouTube. I'm gonna add an intro, the outro, polish it.
Yeah, I'll look at everything here and there. If there's any like moments where we're not talking too much, then I might cut that out. So all the the conversations there, but we pretty much did a good job of like essentially talking, but not really breaking too much, and just having an awkward silence there.
Yeah.
Okay. But with that being said, I think I can't speak.
All right, so I'll do the outro since he can't obviously do it. I think this is
Yes,
a great
please. I
ending
guess
point
please.
for everyone to tune in to this broadcast. Uh, Honestly, we are still trying to figure out a name for this. We don't truly know what the actual name going forward. Right now, it's just the VTuber Podcast
Or podcast of life is what I have it
or
titled.
Podcast of Life. But we might go and create another name for it. Who knows? But that'll obviously be the title of the video on YouTube when that does come out. But we appreciate everyone for coming out. We appreciate all the support. It was a fun time being with you guys. It was a fun time getting to know everybody. And we honestly don't have a consistent schedule for the podcast, but obviously just for you guys to know when the next podcast will be, gotta subscribe, gotta follow, and gotta keep up to date. So without further ado, we appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you guys so much for the support. And as always, we will see you guys later.
Indeed, and I'm going to end my stream off with a raid to somebody completely random. Somebody who is also on their Twitch journey. That's pretty much what my intentions are going to be for moving on now with streaming is just raid out to somebody who is also streaming and trying to kick off their career because every little bit helps.
So true.
So, with that being said, I'm going to raid out to this person, but as IT Storm gladly went ahead and did, we thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming out, spending your hard-earned time with us, and just chilling and enjoying the day. So, that is my goodbye. Cosmic, would you like to say your goodbyes?
Yes, thank you guys. This was so much fun, and I definitely hope to be here next time. And gosh, we just talked for hours, didn't we?
We talked a lot.
Before you leave, hold on.
Oh, okay.
About to do a gifted sub. Yes, another gifted sub.
Hey!
Storm 4 just gave out 1 gifts to make the world
Thank
a
you,
better
thank
place.
you.
Now you reached your sub goal. There you go.
Sweet.
You had a sub goal. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Like you said, it's hard being, a new creator here. So, ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, for everybody, keep on the lookout for next Saturday because that's when this next podcast will be. I have to keep it on Saturdays because university is starting next week, so the only time I'll really have to stream and record is school. So keep on the lookout for that. With that being said, goodbye everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
You gotta show us some of your animations. You really did.
Yeah, I'd
That's
be
just-
very interested to see some of it. Ooh.
Oh, so I meant to tell you because I've been looking for more people for it, but I have started a little group where we are coming up with an anime or a webtoon web novel series.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about
And
this.
the theme of it is pirates, similar to not One Piece, but similar to Pirates of the Caribbean. And essentially, we will set up like we will anytime we get the chance to, we'll just go over like storyboarding, characters, and just start writing the story, drawing stuff out because I do have a drawing tablet that I use every now and then to draw out stuff, create stuff, because I make a bunch of stories. I make a bunch of stories. I let my chat read them. I do post them. I do post them on different forums. Uh, and like right now, I have a story that is called Eternal Madness, where it just follows the story of my girl, Yui, through her little adventure. I'll go like, oh, free, and it's fun. So
If you
I just throw that at people. I'm like, hey, if you're interested, I throw it at my little content creator friends because it could be a little side project they work on, and who knows, it might blow up. Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, that was honestly a really great turnout for today's stream. I was not expecting that the turnout like that. Made a whole ass almost made $3 off ads.
I know you were wringing me dry because I forgot to subscribe. Just wringing me dry.
I made $3, bro. Almost made $3. Like, they got what's up? Uh, yeah, I like. I hate the fact that, that this is something we could easily talk about. Like, this is gonna be another hour conversation right here, just off stream now. So it's like, I hate the fact that Twitch now you pretty much have to rely on those like heavier ads now because
But
of
then
everything that's
also,
gone on with it.
but another reason why I only gift subs to friends and I don't subscribe myself is just because that the easiest way to support a friend that's already affiliate or partner is by watching the ad.
Yeah,
Because I realize that you don't get a whole lot of money from gifted subs as you do with getting bits. Bits, you get 100% of it. Gifting subs, I think it's 50-50. Yeah, it's 50-50. And so I've started to lean towards more giving bits because bits goes directly to the streamer. And so
I didn't
like
know that either. Yeah,
mhm. And so that's why I don't subscribe myself because I have no problem with watching the ads. Because most of the time I have my friends' streams up in the background anyways while I'm working on something. And so I just don't have a problem with it. That's why I was making the joke about it the whole time. But it's just when I was like, bro, you guys are gonna be dry out here with these damn ads. God damn it. Well, today was fun. It definitely was great getting to know especially you,
I'm
Cosmic.
definitely super-
Thank you, thank
I
you.
thought
definitely
I thought Abner just kidnapped another random girl like last time. Just brought her on there. It
Wait,
happens a lot.
what?
It
Nah,
happens a
that's
lot, chat.
that's
And we just
slander.
I
How,
gotta
what? How dare you
I
slander
gotta
them?
pay for their hospital bills because it just like he it
This
gets
never
rough out
happened.
here,
This
man. Like
never
he
happened.
brings them to
What?
the basement, and then it's just like now I gotta explain to the
What are
cops
you
why
talking
they're here,
about?
and I'm like, look, man, it gets rough.
This is
So
nothing. This is
I'm
nothing.
glad
but
everything
slander that's
turned out
coming
great
out of
today.
your mouth right now.
But like,
I'm
just
gonna
gotta keep
remember
it
this
together.
I'm gonna remember this when I see you next Friday.
Is it Friday? I thought we were leaving Thursday. I thought it was coming to your house Thursday.
Do
I thought we were
No,
leaving
we leave-
Thursday.
Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, we are leaving Thursday. So my bad.
I was about to say. I was
Yeah, my
like,
bad. I forgot. We are leaving Thursday. I forgot.